Welcome to the Orange Bloods Live Watch Along, brought to you by the amazing people at Pinthouse. I'm Jeff Ketchum. That's Chad Hastings. The moment we've been waiting for all season long, the most hyped affair of the last 365. Texas at Iowa State. Brett Yormark is in attendance. It's about to go wild.
This is why you lift all them weights, Catch. This is why you do all that shit to go to Ames, baby.
Yeah, this is why you guys read those practice reports. This is why you stay subscribed to orangebloods.com during the off season. It's for the buildup of moments like this. And look, it's already started to look like maybe a squirrely weekend. Really, not a weekend as much as tonight. This could be the night in college football where things get a little bit crazy. We will take your specs chat comments throughout the night. Obviously, we'll take your super chats, bring them in. You know, it cuts you right to the front of the line once we kind of set the stage. We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Saturday night where everybody has their eyes on Washington and Oregon State. What happens? You know, it's funny. I'm leading with playoff stuff instead of Big 12 championship discussion. Forgive me, people.
There's a reason, though. There's a reason.
No, there is. And because the Washington-Oregon State game will be happening at the exact same time as Texas and Iowa State, another game that has playoff implications. And right now in Tallahassee, on the CW network, in the event that any of you are struggling, Chad, you okay? You made a face.
No, I struggled to find it myself. For those Spectrum brothers and sisters out there like me, that's a 12. 12 on Spectrum. Hadn't been there in forever.
Florida State, North Alabama. North Alabama's up 13-3 in the second quarter of that game. They've just run the ball up and down the Tallahassee turf tonight. And Florida State loses their star quarterback to one of these hip tackle. I feel like I've gone my entire life, Chad, and the hip tackle has been kind of something that you know. Like if you ask me what's a hip tackle in football, I could describe it, but it's never been like a thing. And then it just feels like it's a thing all of a sudden. We saw Mark Andrews go out Thursday night in the Baltimore game. Florida State star quarterback Jordan Travis, a senior, in his last home game in his career, gets hip tackled in this game. And for those, it's where the defender's like lifts his feet off the ground and kind of, I think instead of a hip tackle, I always think of it as kind of like a rodeo tackle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're leaving the ground, you're grabbing the hips or the legs, and you're kind of
like you're doing bulldogging in rodeo.
Exactly. Except you're doing it with your around the hips instead of around the horns. Jordan Travis goes down to a really nasty injury. I'll save you the gruesome details and just let you know he's in an ambulance on his way to the hospital right now.
Right.
Whether or not they lose to North Alabama or not, it's a complete season changer for Florida State, who still has to play Florida, who still presumably would need to, I guess, go through Louisville in the ACC championship game. And who knows the way the committee will look at whatever ends up happening in this game. I'm going to assume that Florida State finds a way to win. The Florida State season changes on a dime, and it will be interesting to see how the committee treats that, because they make it up as they go. So it could be like a big deal, or they could say, right now, the way we view the teams, Alabama or Texas, we think are better teams because of how healthy they are. Anyway, look, as we get ready to go into Texas and Iowa State tonight, Chad, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot on the line. And it's been a long time since Texas football has been involved in a discussion like this in the middle of November, where I've got multi-screens up in my office.
Yeah.
Getting ready to do a watch along for the Longhorns. And it just feels like this is fall in November and Thanksgiving's around the corner. And hey, this watching Texas Longhorn football matters tonight in ways that it just hasn't mattered in a long time. And before the game even starts, let's all just take a moment. Everybody take a deep breath. It's already been a season, but we're on the back end of it. And there's a lot going on and a lot to play for. And we joked about it, but this really is the reason why we do all of this, for these moments when the games matter. Look, ask Chad. He watched Texas A&M play Abilene Christian today, and there's been a part of me that's been wanting to ask, like, how is that? Like, let me just ask you real quick. How was that? Did it feel like Jimbo Fisher is gone? We're all free? Was it weird? Like, it's just kind of from an outside perspective, it was kind of awkward wondering how the vibe in the stadium might feel and how Aggies would handle that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to win the game. Honestly, they gave up a pick six to start, and you start to get, oh, good Lord. But then when they handle their business, it was just a get it over with game, honestly. When it was like 20, just get enough of a lead where everybody wouldn't pay attention to it and just move on. It was that kind of game for me. In terms of, before we dig into Texas and Iowa State specifically, everything else around it, we had a chance to really have some stuff to talk about tonight during this game. It's a little less now. Since Oklahoma and Oklahoma State both won, Texas cannot get into the Big 12 title game tonight. To catch his reference to Big 12 earlier, we would have been talking about that. Texas needed K-State, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma. 2 of those 3 lose today. Texas could have gotten in with a win tonight, but now they can't. So basically it boils down to, if Texas and K-State win tonight, we're going to need to look into the worst case scenario of a crazy tiebreaker with 4 teams. Best case scenario for Texas obviously would just be to keep winning. So that's the Big 12.
Their destiny. It's as simple as win and you're good.
But then the other part of it, of course, is the national side. We thought we'd have 2 games to watch, and as Ketch just pointed out, 1 game to watch. Now we'll have 2, because Texas fans knew deep down the chances of Florida State losing to North Alabama were pretty much nothing. But now that Jordan Travis is out, not that you're happy about it, you're not. It's a horrible thing. But now could Florida State actually drop that game? We'll see. Ketch, you bring up a great point about what would the committee think of, and I'm thinking of Kenyon Martin and a Cincinnati basketball team years ago. But then the other game, of course, we watch is Washington and Oregon State. They are just getting started.
Washington's up 7-0. They strike first.
Washington drives the field and did score the early touchdown. So right now that one's not going the way Texas would need it to go. Some would tell you Texas needs Florida State or Washington to lose a game, but who knows? Who knows?
Were you about to say that, Chad, and I said it for you?
I had just my screen had gone to commercial. I was pretty sure they scored. I was about to check the score, and you said it. So
the way it was starting to come out of your mouth, it just sounded like you didn't know. And then your reaction was, oh, I stepped all over Chad.
No, I saw him at like the 8. I figured since I saw a commercial they scored, but I was going to be certain, and then you covered my certainty, so we're good. Okay.
Well, look, we're going to keep you updated. This will be the place to go. You don't need to turn. You put it on Texas and Iowa State. We're going to cover you all the way through the game. We don't even take commercials, really. So you don't ever have to worry about not being entertained or talked to or stats or updates or anything that we can give you. Not a whole lot. We mentioned Big 12 commissioner. He's at the game. Not a lot of newsy things to really pass along from a Longhorn standpoint, injury-wise. I think the expectation is I think we know kind of what's going on with the team. Captains tonight, before we get into some super chats, because we're already starting to get those piled up, and I want to make sure that we don't fall too far behind. Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat, 2 guys that will be going up against a certain smack talker tonight.
That's right.
Both named captain tonight. It's the 4th time this season that those 2 guys have been named captains out of 11 so far. Most of anybody on the team, and I think it might actually be the first time all season they've been captains together. In addition, Jordan Whittington is a captain. Kelvin Banks is a captain. Both of those guys have been captains 3 times each. Now, I looked at it. I'm so nerdy, Chad. I looked this up today. Hold on, let me count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 different dudes have been captains at some point this season for the Longhorns.
Dang.
That's a lot. As I was counting it out, I was like, my God.
I don't know what's crazier, that there have been 21 or that you've kept up with the fact that there's been 21.
I haven't kept up. I counted today.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, moving forward, should I update the captain standings? Then you can say I've kept up with it.
Okay.
At which point, I really will question my life choices.
Yeah, I was going to say, just as somebody that keeps up with as many stupid stats as I do, I was kind of impressed with that. I'm like, oh, that's good. It's not just me.
Suddenly, Turnover Tuesday has a combatant.
I was going to tell Turnover Tuesday it's not as bad as it seems.
Thank God there's not a day in the week that starts with a C. Otherwise, we would absolutely turn that into like Captain whatever day. But what was when it came out, Chad, I saw the names and the faces, and I was like, Banks, Murphy, Sweat, Whittington. I thought to myself, that's about the most captain-y group of captains.
Mm-hmm.
That if I told you biggest game of this season, playoff game, Big 12 championship game, who is walking out to represent the Longhorns at the 50-yard line for the coin toss? Though it feels like those four guys would be at the top of my list. And sure enough, once I counted it out, other than Jalen Ford, who also has been a captain for 3, Jake Majors has been a captain for 3. These are the guys. And I think it's a signal of like what this coaching staff and what Steve Sarkisian thinks about this game, this challenge, the stakes involved. He's sending his dudes out tonight. It's a really important game, even if it's not one before the season that we would have pointed to and been like, here it is, World War III. And yet it is a game that after tonight, if the Texas Longhorns win, they could both be really 1 foot into the Big 12 championship game, maybe 1.5 feet, depending on – I got to get an update on what's going on in Lubbock. Last I checked, Central Florida had missed a field goal that would have given them a 17-14 lead. Tech having all they can handle from Central Florida tonight in Lubbock. What's somewhat interesting about that game, I won't get carried away with the hyperbole, is that if Tech wins that game tonight, they're bowl eligible.
Right.
If they lose, they've got to come to DKR next week and win that game to become bowl eligible. You know, every little thing matters in terms of the way teams approach games. You wonder, will Tech care a whole bunch if they're already bowl eligible? I think that's the one big thing that they can obtain that's still in front of them. You'll hear it next week that Texas is the bowl game for Texas. You'll hear a lot of that stuff in the lead up to Texas and Texas Tech.
21-17 Tech.
Okay. By the way,
early
it's
fourth.
pouring in Corval right now. Washington leading 7-0.
Yeah, I just saw that too. It's dumping rain in that game, so that'll be a factor to pay attention to in that game. A lot of running the ball, even in a Pac-12 affair.
This is fun, Chad. It's a little bit like watching the Red Zone on Sundays when the Cowboys are playing, right? You're watching the Cowboys. That's the main area of focus, but there can be sometimes so many things going on at once. It's just a hell of a lot of fun. This is kind of college football when it can be at its best. And it's been kind of a boring day today, if we can be completely honest. And we'll get to some of the discussion or talk about some of the things that have already happened today in a moment. Oscar says in the super chat, what up, Oscar? At an Irish pub with the fam and the girlfriend. I've been talking a lot about her this week, Oscar. I need to meet with a therapist and discuss your girlfriend that doesn't like me. Got absolutely obliterated last night. Now we go one speed, and that's go. Hey.
Go, Oscar. Way to go. Rally.
We expect super chats from you at the end of the game, coherent.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the Oscar that we want you to be once you're out of school, you've got to learn to at least be at 75% when you're really at like 15%. Just
good.
So you know, like that's the math that we're using. One of our favorites, Chad, Argo Nath, says, at a bar with my Michelob Ultra,
Nice.
and you guys in my ear laughing at USC and Auburn right now, feeling for the Florida State quarterback, though. You know what, Chad? Show them your beer.
Y'all just reminded me I need to grab the beer here. We're going with the Southern sensibilities first. Catch, I'm saving the jellyfish for the second half because I feel like the Longhorns may need that extra pop in the second half. So I'm going to have it for them. I'm going to be ready.
Couple of things. I'm glad you brought this up, Argonath. This somewhat talks about some of the things that we can get into from the day today. Not a lot of great football, but USC got pile-driven into the Coliseum by UCLA.
Tough.
And Caleb Williams, I would guess, I don't know why he would play in a bowl game at 7-5. Given
that's kind of been his character so far, just all for the team and let's play the bowl game. No, you don't sense that about Caleb?
It wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. He had the look of a guy who was like, I'm too old for this shit after losing. Yeah. He had the Murdoch look on his face from Lethal Weapon. They lose. Auburn. You know, I said something bad about Purdue earlier today, Chad, where I was like, man, I watched some Purdue football this year, and that's a bad football team. But they didn't let New Mexico State come into their crib and beat them by 3 touchdowns. So I apologize to Purdue because the worst team in college football Power 5 tonight is the Auburn Tigers, who paid New Mexico State almost $2 million to show up and kick their butt.
Catch, that old saying in the movie about, you know, when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. If my heart gets wings when I get happy, something about seeing Hugh Freeze sad makes me happy. And I don't know what it is. I don't have a personal vendetta against the man, but my God, when he's sad, it does make me happy. We talked about the November pillow this week, Catch. Only thing worse than scheduling that November pillow is losing it. Now, technically, New Mexico State, not a pillow, 8-3, 6-1 in conference coming in. You can't lose the game. Please don't misunderstand me. But shout out to Jerry Kill, the famous coach people might know, the guy who deals with epilepsy, and he used to coach at Minnesota. That's the guy at New Mexico State. Catch, they put like a 36-minute time of possession on Auburn. I'll go ahead and say it before somebody puts it in the chat. They beat Auburn like Appalachian State beat my Aggies last year. In fact, it might have been worse.
It was, Chad. It was.
Appalachian State absolutely deserved to beat A&M. It wasn't a fluke, and they pushed them around. I felt like New Mexico State even upped that today. They did. Auburn.
They did. Here's the thing, Chad. We're not, when I say we, I don't mean you. You are an SEC man.
I am.
Usually the SEC is like SEC. There's a very pro, when the league wins, everybody wins. When a team gets embarrassed like that, are you allowed to enjoy it with glee?
Yeah, I do. I don't know what you're allowed to do, but hey, Catch, you know me. I'm not your typical fill in the blank. I'm not your typical Aggie, and I'm not your typical SEC fan. I'll find those times to just kind of giggle. Yeah, I mean, that's funny. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I plan on laughing a lot this weekend when thinking about that. By the way, a few score updates. Florida State now down 13-10. They've got the ball. They're in North Alabama territory. Maybe this thing ends with them regrouping a little bit after the early deficit and winning this game, running away. It's a 3-7 North Alabama team. Even without Jordan Travis, they should eventually run away in this game. 7-7 Washington, Oregon State, both teams, bam, bam, 7-7. And even in the rain, they are off in the Pac-12. So we'll keep you up to date with that. That's Tom jumps into the super chat. Caught up with House Divided, Chad. He has to say the best nude scene that he would go with is Wild Things, Nev Campbell, Denise Richards. Tom, that may be the best post you've ever made.
Well played.
That may be the best super chat contribution.
And Catch, to be fair to all sides, might be one of the better male nude scenes too. Just saying. The ladies tell me Kevin
Everybody
Bacon.
gets to be happy.
The ladies and those that love the gentleman, they tell me Kevin Bacon in the shower is not that bad.
Well, hey,
great movie
seen
though.
the man dancing Footloose. You know it can't be that bad. He's a sexy man.
It's a great movie. Hey, also catch tonight to try to help Texas out. The old country saying is, if it can't be fixed with WD-40, it is broke. We're debuting the WD-40 glass tonight. So
wow.
Yeah, we're just going to debut the WD-40. And
by the way, we're minutes. God, time's been going by. Blake lets us know Iowa State wins the toss and defers. Let's get ready for some football, people.
Here we go.
Longhorns getting the ball first.
I got the ball into the end zone right now, Catch.
Going to be 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Coming out, early start in this game. Thank you, Blake, for getting us on track. We were just blabbing away, talking about things going on. As we get started with the game, Tom G says, no. As far as we know, that's
Not
wrong.
Not true. If Texas ends up with 2 losses and ends up in a tiebreaker with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they will be out.
So I'm pulling it up on my screen, Chad, and I'm also trying to get it on my computer. You know how I like to do? I usually think on the computer.
Yeah.
I can look ahead.
That was damn near a pick on the first play.
That's not good. I'm going to catch up with you here in just a moment.
Yeah, tell me if I need to adjust here on my side.
Well, I'll let you know. My computer is loaded up right now. That could have been a pick six.
Little swing pass out to the right.
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
Okay.
I've got – what do you got on the –
when I see the play clock, I'll let you know. I got 15, 14, 13, 12 on a play clock.
Oh, you're going to be about 5 seconds ahead of me.
All right. First handoff of the game did not go very far for Texas. A little straight handoff on 2nd and 10 to Baxter, and it went nowhere. It's going to be 3rd and 10 to start this game for Texas.
3rd and 10 for the Longhorns. One of the stories we'll be talking about all night on this. We need like a 10-second pause job, Chad.
Okay.
I'll let you know. But, yeah, you're so far ahead of me that 10 seconds will at least get us in the ballpark.
You just call me. You call what you see at this point.
Okay. Let's see. Fox is doing here we go. There's about 18 on the play clock.
Perfect.
Yours is clean pocket.
Yeah. Nice catch.
Nice job. Getting first down.
No, Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell with a little catch and run across the middle of the field. They need a lot of – I mean, if you're going to get that from Adonai Mitchell tonight, he can have a big, big game. That's not – you thought that was first maybe Whittington and then Worthy, and Mitchell was kind of the last guy I think you were expecting to be running across the middle like that. 1st and 10 from the 36. Ewers just settling for what's available.
Hey, there he is.
There's your guy, Chad, the tight end position.
Jatavian Sanders. How about that? Tight ends are open sometimes.
Well, look, now the Longhorns want to remind everybody, guys, I think for now, Chad and I are in tune. We're good to go. I've got about 13:35 on the play clock. You're going to have to adjust your TV to us, and it can't be the other way around. I know this is week 11, but if you're just joining us, by the way, hit the like, subscribe, and notifications button. Longhorns at midfield. The way this works is we need everybody to adjust to what we're watching. We can't adjust us to you. We'd love to be able to do that individually for everybody. But sometimes it's like a Quinn Ewers incomplete pass attempted towards Xavier Worthy. It just doesn't work.
That first one catch, the very first one he was stationary in the pocket. That one he rolls out to the right. Same result though, just skidded one in there. Worthy looked like he could have been open, but Ewers threw a bad one there.
Well, look, we've been talking about this Iowa State defense all week long. It looks like the Longhorns are going to come out. Are they going to call that that's an incomplete?
Close. Yeah, that's incomplete.
It is incomplete, but you can throw that down and replay for me, Chad. Let me see what in slow-mo, you might have me convinced that he caught this pass.
Yeah, Texas does not need to have
he didn't.
Texas does not need him to have caught that ball because then it would be a fumble. And he did not I don't think he had enough time.
He didn't. He didn't.
Not enough to establish, but now brings up the 2nd, 3rd, and 10.
And I mean, again, we were just talking. What I was saying is, we've seen this a couple of times, I think, in the last few weeks where Texas has come out, pass. That's where they've been really aggressive. First drive of the game. That's what they're having to do here.
Oh, now that is – wow. That ball popped right up in the air, back to Baxter. Either way, Texas is going to have to punt, but thank goodness for Texas, that ball went right back down to Baxter. What a wild play.
4th and 10. I think technically this is going to be a completed pass. Baxter pulls it down, but in one motion, well, it looks like an incomplete pass to me when it was all said and done.
Paul came back and hit the ground. You're right. I was going to say, I've never seen that one catch where a guy ends up flat on his back like that and still catches the football. He technically didn't.
Iowa State brings a little bit of pressure, but everything's going to be all right. Ball fair catch at the 10. So Texas doesn't – I guess you'd say that wasn't a total loss for the Texas offense. They move it enough to set their defense up with control of the field position. Iowa State needed to travel 90 yards to get the ball in the end zone, but we'll get our first taste of this Texas defense going up against a very confident Iowa State offense and an offensive line that wanted Tavondre Sweat and Byron Murphy first and foremost. So, no, you guys think your shit doesn't stink. Bring it on.
Yeah, the guy that ran his mouth is the left guard, in case you're watching if you're a Texas fan. 54 is the left guard.
By the way, those Iowa State jerseys, not nearly the color of my Lucky Friday shirt.
No, it's not. No, not even close. And again, if they had the regular helmets on, they would look just like USC, like they always do. But yeah, I don't like this combo tonight.
That's ugly.
The red on red with the black helmet, it's a bad choice.
I was hoping that it would be the Stormtroopers versus like the all black uniforms.
They should be wearing black pants and they'd be okay.
I mean, all black jerseys.
Yeah,
black
you could do
pants.
That. Yeah,
it would look like, I don't even know. It'd be pretty cool, though. Iowa State gains 5 on 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Nice job by Thompson coming up there and putting a tackle on.
Florida State, by the way, has taken a 17-13 lead over North Alabama. They may be just taking control of that game late second quarter. Although North Alabama does have the ball in good field position.
That's one we'll probably be, putting off the board here fairly quick. I mean, in a little while, I would imagine. And we're just going to be focused on Oregon State, but we'll see.
By the way, Jalen Catalon starting tonight for the Longhorns in the secondary. I get so many Jalen Catalon questions.
Tip ball.
We're going to get a 3.5 for Texas defense. And
guess who?
One of your captains, captain
Sweat, ladies and gentlemen.
Against
Let's see him here.
Number 54.
Yeah, he just beat him on the first drive. It wasn't even his hand. It was his lower arm. Nice bull rush. By the way, the guy held him, to be fair.
No, it's the Big 12. There's no holding.
Right. I know it wasn't called, but technically that's holding. That's holding in other conferences. It'll be holding in the SEC next year a couple times.
So you say.
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends on the game, I guess. True. So Iowa State forced to punt. So Texas will get the ball back for their second drive. Catch, obviously, the bad news on that first drive for Texas offensively, a combined 2 first downs and 2 second downs, and they got a combined 0 yards out of them. So they need to find yards on first and second down. There's my huge limb for Texas. There's my big piece of advice.
You were 2 of 6 on the first drive. It didn't feel that bad.
Well, remember it started with a bad pass.
Yes.
And started with a bad pass, and then had another incomplete pass later. We still have some of those super chats we need to grab.
You read my mind. Joshua said, who do you need to win between Kansas State and Kansas? Does Kai Woods get any touches tonight? I wouldn't think so. What do you think our offense looks like without JB? This came in before the game, to be fair to Joshua. Real quick, you need Kansas State to win at this point. I think they're the team more likely to play in the Big 12 championship game. The loser of that game falls out of the college football top 25. So from that standpoint, I don't know that it makes a huge difference. But Kansas State feels like the team that could finish close to 15 maybe in the rankings if they win their last couple of games, somewhere between 15 and 20. I would say Kansas State if it's me. But you may – here's what I would say, Joshua. Do you want to play Kansas State again? Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Oklahoma, of those three, I might argue that Kansas State is the most dangerous of those three in a head-to-head in Arlington. So if they lose, they're gone. And at least at that point, it's either going to be OU or Iowa State. Just something to think about. I think we're going to see a lot of past Joshua as it relates to what this Texas offense is going to look like tonight. I think this next drive may give us a better idea because they come out on the first drive, Chad, and they throw it 6 times and they rushed it once. So, okay, that's the opening script. You want to be aggressive. You want to loosen Iowa State up so you can run the ball. Now you're back on the 30, your own 30. I think we may get a better idea of what the balance of this is going to look like. But certainly early on, it feels like we're going to get a lot of Texas throwing the football.
Yeah, I know there's all this talk about how much he loves C.J. Baxter and all that, but we also have to remember Steve Sarkisian just does not run naturally. He does not like to run the ball. So let's see what the balance really looks like as it moves forward. The one run to Baxter went nowhere.
All right, I'm going to give you the play clock as soon as I see it, Chad, just because usually we're doing the ESPN thing online, but now it's Fox, and I'm not quite sure when they come back from commercial.
I'm watching Seniors and Flowers and their parents, and now I'm watching a Haycock Matt Campbell dual screen.
I'm a couple of seconds ahead of you.
All right, that's fine.
Matter of fact, I'm at 20 on the play clock, and
we're good. Go ahead.
Next play, first run. Oh, we got a
there's a good run. There we go.
First down run, picks up a dozen on first down, and we were just talking about it. Like, we may get a better idea of the balance involved in the offense. They certainly come out on first down there. We'll see if they go back to Baxter. They build a little something up in the run game with C.J. Baxter. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world that they can do. They're not going to do it on this play. Longhorns going empty backs, twins to the right, and they were actually run trips to the right with Baxter running all the way out to the sideline. Ewers sacked. Yeesh. Not a big hit. In fact, tackled at the legs, and he goes down pretty easily as to not take a big hit. So if Quinn Ewers is going to get touched in a game, given what he's working with from his injury standpoint, you'll take the hit where nobody falls on his upper body. And he landed fairly. He landed on his butt. So not the most vicious of sacks in the world, but now we're looking at an Iowa State defense that's put Texas in a 2nd and 19 situation. We'll see how the Longhorns attack this. They're at their own 37. Longhorns going to run it on 2nd down, and Baxter's going to pick up a small chunk of what's needed, but it's still going to be 3rd and really long, maybe 3rd and 14, depending on how much.
Yeah, those are 2 nice runs. That
3rd
should give
and
him
10. Excuse me, I didn't think he picked up 9 there. Nice run, CJ.
That should really give some confidence that you can run the ball with Baxter. Let's see if Sark leans into it. Again, this is the running back he wants. So does he show off his guy tonight, even while people like me doubt that he wants to run the ball? Let's see him do it.
Well, he won't run it here on 3rd and 10. Ball's at the Texas 44-yard line.
Yeah, Quinn's got to make a throw here.
Longhorns already seen a lot of 3rd and longs. And we're going to see another sack.
Good job by that.
Second sack of this drive. Longhorns going to punt. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there, Chad.
No. It's those 2 pass plays. That's bad news for the Texas offensive line. There's some things to adjust on that one. They're not doing a great job. They let a couple guys get through on that drive.
C.J. Baxter did not help.
Yeah, Baxter looked like Sanders was supposed to grab somebody too, and he did not.
Baxter was trying to chip a guy. He missed, and the outside guy that he was trying to chip ends up being the guy that gets a sack. So, whoa!
Ball on the ground.
Ball on the ground. But it's not going to be the Longhorns to get it.
Oh, that was close. I thought Keaton Crawford was about to come up with that. Iowa State ends up with it. So here we are, little past 5 minutes into the game. No score. Night game in Ames.
All right, so let me tell you my most alarming thing I've seen in this game. By the way, he barely held it. He barely got that ball back. It was pinned to his shin, and he just scrapes it in. Otherwise, that would have been a massive turnover. But as it is, Iowa State will get the ball. We're in our commercial break. So now would be the time to get your super chats in if you want to. As a matter of fact, real quick, Blake, let's do this. Let's tell the good folks about Specs and Specs Online. And then I'll let them know what my most alarming thing in the game so far is go.
No matter what you're needing, Specs same-day delivery can save the day with our Specs app or online shopping. From world-class wines to hard-to-find spirits and craft beers to gourmet foods, delicious snacks, and spectacular sweets. It's Specs. Cheers to savings.
Most alarming part of the game, you guys can take a look at the stats so far. Are those updated, though? Because because Ewers didn't actually throw the ball. He was sacked, so you don't throw it when you get sacked. Yeah. By the way, Florida State now up 24-13. We can take that one off the board.
Yep.
It's not even halftime, but Florida State has done the thing where they've completely roared back. They're now up double digits against a bad team. Even without Jordan Travis, they're going to be okay.
Catch, I just watched an ugly play in Corvallis. Imagine being a punter in a pouring rainstorm and they snap it over your head. The Oregon State punter just had to kick it out of the back of the end zone for a safety. 9-7 Washington late first quarter. Sorry, go ahead. Get to your.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Your made me turn my head to the TV screen and go, "What did I miss? What's happening?" In one of the games, that was ugly.
Yeah.
We talked about with the Jonathan Brooks injury. It's not just the run yards or even the receiving yards. It's the all-around play. I can remember in one of the very, very first shows that we did back in August where Sarkisian just came out of nowhere and listed the guys that he trusted the most in pass protection. Now, he had C.J. Baxter on that list, but Jonathan Brooks was front and center, and all season long, Brooks has been great in that role. You can just trust him at all times. If you wonder how teams with Brooks not on the field, how they may try to test Texas, that was one of them. That's a play where Baxter is, he's a key guy. By the way, Iowa State gets nothing on their first down play, and surprise, T'Vondre Sweat announcing himself with authority.
Was that
Cartman enough for you?
That was very. That was another great play by Sweat. We've seen one in the past game where he knocks it away, and that was in the run game. I mean, they had nothing for him there.
Nick, you're asking in the super chat what Texas's record is in the past decade. 2-3 past decade coming into tonight. Lost 3 of their last 4.
Mm-hmm.
Second down here. I think if you're going to attack Texas in the belly of that defense, they do that. They work that inside receiver. Iowa State picking up a first down, getting out of their red zone territory. They get across their 30, and that's just 2 guys running inside routes there. They got twins to the right. Both guys just sat on their routes. Beck picks the guy that he thought was the most open. They were both open for the ball. Incomplete pass on second down, but
feels like this Texas defensive line is getting the pressure we thought they would catch. Feels like they're overall they're winning this matchup, more than they're not. So that's good news if I'm a Texas fan so far. This, the quarterback was really looking over to the sidelines. Beck was a little freaked out after that last play because of the pressure.
Going into this play, the quarterbacks in this game are combined 3 of 10. Iowa State sticks with the run on second down. By the way, we're midway through the second quarter. No points on the scoreboard. Neither offense is establishing the run. T'Vondre Sweat laying face down on the turf.
Well, that doesn't look good.
He's taking his helmet off. Now, the good news is he's not holding – this looks like he's holding maybe his face, like he got poked in the eye.
Okay, maybe.
Or he's holding his head. It's not like a limb, which is always,
That's a good that's a good point.
Having seen so many people in the last week grab legs, let's see what happens here. It's a double team. That's probably smart. He slips.
Okay, and then okay. Maybe he took that. Is that a knee to the helmet on the way down?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
He took a knee to the helmet. It was like almost like a UFC knee to
He's
it down.
Run into it.
Yeah.
He didn't know where the running back was. He's just trying to, his back is to the back, for those that didn't see it. and he turns to try to get involved in the play, and the running back just snaps him in the head with the knee. Okay, well, now we know what happened.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, that felt like, if you're a UFC fan, the knee to a downed opponent kind of a thing where they'd call a foul on that one in UFC. Let's hope he's all right there. So the good news, like you said, Catch, good news, it wasn't a limb, but obviously this could be bad news because you just don't know how every player is going to react to that. Because that's one of those, sometimes T'Vondre Sweat knows when to brace for all kind of things. There's no way he's thinking to brace for that, though. That's what makes those so dangerous, that he's not expecting his head to get snapped like that on the way down. So we'll hope 93 is okay.
By the way, guys, I think we're caught up on Super Chats. So feel free, if you're in the Specs chat, if you want to get into the Super Chat action, we can get to you right away. It is halftime in Tallahassee. Like we said, you can take it off the board. Florida State up double digits, 23-13 over North Alabama.
Yeah. And let's see. Let's get them a score in that Kansas game. Kansas State 16-13 late second quarter.
That was exactly what I was about to do, Chad. You read my mind. Get a little scoreboard action in the Big 12. OU earlier today was, boy, they were. It felt like BYU and OU were perfectly matched teams.
Yeah, you're right. BYU had them, Catch.
They had them at the 2-yard line and threw a dangerous ball in the red zone. They got pick six, 99 yards to the house. By the way, Texas Tech did beat Central Florida 24-23.
Okay, so good news there.
Yeah, Texas Tech. Well, because the Longhorns don't play Central Florida, so they don't. Those are games you want Texas's opponents to win. Tech now bowl eligible, so they aren't playing for bowl eligibility next week. By the way, T'Vondre Sweat going sitting down on the bench. He's walking on his own. Hopefully, we'll give you an update when we can get one. And if you see someone else has an update, because we're doing about 10,000 things at once, feel free. Let us know. Iowa State taking a shot.
They're going to get a flag on Watts, I think.
I think we got our first sketchy Big 12 officiating call of the night.
Well, it is in the dark. I mean, the Iowa State offensive linemen remind us they play these games in the dark at Ames, and when you put the Big 12 officials in the dark, I mean, come on.
Well, the thing about this was I didn't think the ball was catchable.
No.
So I thought they just called pass interference. I wonder. So Watts is ahead of him.
Yeah.
They're hand fighting.
Never turned his. Well, he turns at the end a little bit. I don't like that call.
I told you that's our first sketchy. That shouldn't get called. Just FYI.
You know where they don't call that, kids? SEC. Trust me. That
is the first eye opener of the night.
Next time they call that one in Knoxville will be the first time.
Well,
that's terrible.
They call that tonight. You're not going to get holding against Iowa State or holding against Texas. To be fair, they really just don't call holding in the Big 12. They will call some pass interference penalties. Should also be said that the Iowa State receiver was running out of bounds. So
yeah,
there was a lot going on there that makes that somewhat of a very questionable call. We digress. We move on. Iowa State, even with the pass interference penalty, will be facing a 2nd and 8 here. They're just across midfield at the Texas 47.5-yard line based on where Fox has a little blue line for possession. I do love those lines. Second, first. Oh, there's a completion.
Nice completion. A little slant route there. By the way, good tackle by Trill Carter on first down, but now it doesn't matter because Iowa State just converted that first down on a nice slant.
Interesting that you mentioned Trill Carter's name. He comes in for obviously Sweat while Sweat's out of the game. Sweat's back in the game with Trill Carter, as a matter of fact.
That's great to see 93.
Carter, though, has really climbed the depth chart at defensive tackle. We're seeing more and more of him every week. Didn't play a lot early in the year as a Minnesota transfer. Was like the 5th defensive tackle on the roster. They take him mostly, Chad, I think, for next season. If they lose a bunch of guys, they wanted to be able to have a guy with some experience. He had been a starter at Minnesota. He's been playing more this season. And he's not a guy that's probably among the first 10 guys on defense that you would talk about, brag about on this Texas defense, but he is starting to become an important player. And speaking of important players, Devondre Sweat is back, and he's back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back and back. By the way, another nice tackle from Jaron Thompson as well in that last play.
It's going to set up a 2nd and 7 for Iowa State. They are working the middle of the field.
There's another slant.
Chad, they're working the middle of the field like Houston did.
Yep. And let's remind everybody again, catch that number that blinked at us all week, 106 against the pass for Texas, 106th in the country. And Iowa State's trying to take advantage of it. That one was on Brooks.
Not so much the crossing patterns that Houston was running,
right,
but everything's inside right now. Iowa State's passing game is in a box, but it's in a box that right now Texas is giving them the space to operate in.
Yeah, extra important that a guy like Sweat and those interior guys have good nights.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. That one was open. He just threw a bad ball.
I was about to say, Chad, if that's a better ball, that's 6.
That is a touchdown wait. He knows it, too. He just tried to – that should have been Merry Christmas to Noel right there. He just missed it. He threw a perfect spiral. He just threw it behind him.
Thank goodness for Texas.
Yes.
We don't know how this drive's going to end, but, we're already towards the tail end of the first quarter. 4:44 to go in the second quarter. We're seeing the Iowa State game plan start to take off. It's throw it short, throw it contained, small chunks. They're going to set up a 3rd and medium here with a little 2nd down pitch and catch along the sidelines, ironically enough. Nice catch by the Iowa State wide receiver. He got that. That's a great catch.
Catch, man. That might have been good on a Sunday.
It looked like it.
Damn.
When I first saw that play live, Chad, I didn't think there was anything special about it. I thought, you got a little 5-yard gain. The replay of that shows it got made one of the best catches I think I've seen all year.
These cats are amazing, man. All over the country, college, pro. It's incredible to watch these receivers, what they do now.
Receivers are just better today than they've ever been.
They're just the overall body control and everything they can do it's incredible.
I'm amazed week in and week out at the toe tapping and the feet dragging.
Yeah.
And, it's pretty spectacular when you see it. Oh, he was out of bounds and came back in, though.
Okay, well, if he goes out and if he goes out on his own, he's not allowed to be the one to touch it, correct?
So I think they're reviewing this right now.
Yeah, that's the way the college rule used to read. I think that's the way it is. If they force you out, you can come back and reestablish. But if you go out, you cannot come back in and touch the ball first.
And this is a big call because there's looking at 3rd and 3, which obviously is a down and distance. If you're going to have 3rd downs, that's where you want it to be. If this gets overturned, it'll be 3rd and 8, I think.
Yeah. Or are they just now? Could they just be purely looking?
No,
they're he's out.
At his foot. He's out of bounds.
Yeah. So Dean Blandino is explaining whatever the current version of the rule is. For the sake of the catch, it's going to be a shame if they take it away, but I think they should because I think that's how the rule reads. You can't come back in, be the first to touch it if you went out on your own, and he did. He just
two officials. There's an official 5 feet away from him. Well, 5 yards away from him.
Yeah.
And there's one behind. There's 2 officials looking at
that. Yeah, and the official gets it. The one in the back, the official in the back is taking his hat off in that replay, and that's what they'll do when you go out of bounds. So I think they saw it pretty clearly. What I don't understand is why would you rule it a catch on the field if my man in the back threw his hat? Just come together and let him tell you, dude, he went out of bounds. He went out of bounds. It doesn't matter if he caught the ball. Nothing matters after he goes out of bounds. He can't come back in and catch it. We're done.
Well, now you just had me questioning the rules.
Yeah. Now, maybe the rule's different than I think it is, but that's the way I've always interpreted or that I've always understood the rule in college. Let's see. See what happens here.
Yeah, it's an illegal touch.
Yeah, illegal touch. Exactly. Loss of down, illegal touch. Now, and my understanding, Catch, in the NFL, the only difference is in the NFL, you just can't be out of bounds and then be the first to touch it ever, period. Doesn't matter if you go out, they push you out. It does not matter. You can't reestablish and catch the ball.
It sets up a 3rd and 10 for Iowa State. Potentially a real game changer early in this game. Because if Iowa State doesn't convert here and has to settle for trying for 3, who knows what would have otherwise happened. So that's a big little call in the early part of this game, 0-0. And at least early on, it also looks like points are going to come at a premium in this game.
No doubt. Yes.
I mean, we both – what did you have, Texas? I had 30-24 coming into the game.
Yeah, I had 27-23. $5 super chat from Steven. He said, if you could redo your prediction for the game right now, what are they? I'll still go with Texas by 4, but right now it might be 4-0 or 10-6.
I was about to say, I'm keeping my prediction the same. I don't know that I believe maybe we're going to see 54 points scored in this game.
Yeah. Now you're going 9-3 now. All right, here's 3rd and 10 for Iowa State. Good pressure from Texas.
That's
sack.
A big down sack.
That's Murphy at the end. And who was that up the middle? Was that Collins to start it or Sorrell?
Well, we'll get a replay here. What happens?
I think it's Collins that started that.
Little Ethan Burke on the outside with a swim move.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Murphy just pretty much made that happen on his own.
Yep.
You got an inside rush, falls down, gets up, makes the sack. Go on, young man. You got your Senior Bowl invite. Clearly, you're getting ready to go to the NFL.
Nice job.
Have yourself a game. Get some sacks. Sets up a 45 long field goal attempt.
He hooked it.
No, he got it.
Damn it.
Way to go, though. That was your chance to.
I was trying. I thought it was a hook.
You had people who were like, yes! Oh! We've seen that a few times already this season.
Thought it was a hook. It was not a hook.
Touche. Any inside info on why our cornerbacks never bump at the line? Look, man, PK does not want to get beat deep. It is one of the it's one of the like philosophical things that he favors in his defense. It's not automatically he doesn't believe that his players can't play bump and run at the line of scrimmage a little bit closer than like a 10-yard cushion. But that's the way his defense works.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better answer for you, but like that is ultimately the answer. We're at commercial here.
Man, is it still 2 for 6 for Ewers? Feels like he's been at that number forever. That's crazy.
Well, they've only had the ball twice.
Yeah, you're right. 3-0.
First drive, he goes 2 for 6 for 26. Last drive, they get the big first down run by Baxter, who, by the way, is at 3 carries for 19 yards, 6.3 yards per carry. Look, that's kind of what you want to see.
Cash, if we get to the end of this game and we're still telling Steve Sarkisian he needs to run the ball more, then I think it'll be official that we can really put it to bed of whether he is a passing or running guy. This is his running back. It's the guy he likes. It's the guy he wants. And the dude is churning up so far. What'd you say? 3 for 19?
What's that?
3 for 19 for Baxter?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
12 of it on the one run.
The math is easy. Those last 2 runs were nice. First one was nothing. So basically he's got what? He got nothing on that first one. He's got basically 2 carries for 19 yards. You got to feed this dude the ball. He might be the only weapon you can count on tonight until Ewers gets going. But this Texas offense is off to a weird start. We said it all week, Catch. What's it going to be like without 24? They're still trying to figure it out too.
No, and look, Sarkisian said before said on Monday, this might be a game where Texas gets the ball 50-55 game snaps.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of on that pace. Longhorns going to get the ball back on this drive. They've run it 5 times. Well, really, technically, they've run it 3 times. 2 of the rushes that are being accounted for in the run game are Ewers sacks. But if you include those in the runs, at this point, the Longhorns have only gained 3 yards. Officially, the Longhorns have 3 yards rushing because of the Ewers sacks. I think the thing that's alarming in the passing game, and the Longhorns are he's going to bring it out of the end zone.
Ooh, I don't know if I like this choice. Got to get there now.
It's always a bad choice for Keelan Robinson. Longhorns are going to start inside their own 20-yard line. We're 3:23. Look, here's what I would say. Xavier Worthy doesn't have a catch yet. Now they've thrown him the football, right? He had the one ball that he didn't come up with.
Yeah, I think the first one of the game was intended for him too, wasn't it? That first ugly one, I think, was intended.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I think it's 2, and they're both ugly misses.
Yeah, one on him. That was a drop, right? Where we would officially call that a drop.
I'd call them both bad throws off what I'm remembering. I don't think that first one was on him.
First one definitely wasn't.
They're going back to him now. There's a good completion to him.
He's wide open.
Yeah, you got to do that all night. Catch, we've been talking about all the defenses being afraid of him. Iowa State will back off of him a little bit. They can do that, I think, a decent amount. They played him pretty soft on that one.
Yeah, he's got about an 8-yard cushion. Actually, they're playing zone, a little bit of zone underneath right there, and he just had loads of space.
Yeah,
nobody even on him.
Great little double route with him and Mitchell. Mitchell took some heat off of him there.
Baxter up the middle on first down, picks up about 4, sets up 2nd and 6. You'll take that. If you're the Longhorns, you just got to stay on the field a little bit now. Washington. Okay, so we'll get you through this play.
Okay, I see some Beavers celebrating.
We're going to get, I think, a hold on Texas. We'll see. But
do we have happy Beavers, Catch?
So Washington, I don't know if it was I've looked up in the middle of the play. It's going to be a hold on Texas.
It's a straight run. Oh, wow. They stripped him and inside the 10.
5.
Tip inside the 10. Dude punches it out in a rainstorm, and Oregon State covers it. So it's still 9-7 Washington. Oregon State made a great play on defense.
They call holding on DJ Campbell. To be fair, he grabbed a piece of jersey, but he didn't ever held the guy, if that makes sense. He was running. Banks was running. He's gripping the jersey, but at no point does the guy ever get restricted. But probably don't grab a fistful of jersey, and they won't call that.
Right,
Sets up 2nd and 16. Little Jaden Blue in the game. Nice pickup in the little swing pass.
He's going to have to be a part of it. We talked about that this week too. Who's your backup now that Baxter's the guy? It's got to be Blue, you would assume, and that's what Sark is telling us with that carry right there.
Stop me if you've heard this before, kids, but Longhorns looking at 3rd and 10.
This is Matt Campbell's dream, Catch. The only thing he needs that to complete his dream is a rainstorm in Ames.
I think this is the 4th 3rd and 10 that the Longhorns have had they completed one early in the game. The last couple of ones they haven't. Ooh.
Oh, that could have been a pick. Trying to hit Whittington. The route did go past the line. It was an aggressive play, and it almost cost Texas. That looked like double coverage ultimately, Catch.
Well, this is a situation where Iowa State does drop a lot of guys. It's a 3-on-3 situation. So the corner who was on Worthy slips, and it allows the corner or the defensive back number 7 to come off, because once Worthy falls down, he cheats and comes inside on Whittington's route.
He should have picked it.
He should have. And I can't blame – it's a weird play, right? Because if you just watch what happens, you might question the Ewers' decision on that play. But it was kind of a weird little – what would have created that was the slip by Worthy, because then the defender is able to cheat in a way where if Worthy's finishing his route, he wouldn't have. Nice play by the Iowa State defender, frankly. I mean, if you see a guy fall down in the blink of an eye, you can come back against the grain from which you're running, and he should have made that play. Should have been an interception. And thank goodness for the Longhorns. It's weird. This is Chad. The first quarter's almost over. It's 3-0. Give me your early first quarter. Well, we'll wait, because Iowa State now back. They've got the ball at their own 10-yard line starting this drive. Wouldn't expect anything crazy, and crazy's not what we're getting. Nothing there in the Iowa State run game. Texas run defense has been very good so far tonight.
Yeah.
They've been a little soft in the middle of the pass defense, but Iowa State's got 7 rushing yards. Texas has 7 rushing yards, but the sacks make the Texas rushing yards look a little more one-sided than they really are.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Texas has a sack in there as well that somewhat made the Iowa State. Regardless, neither team is doing anything in the run game. Probably going to be the last play. Well, no.
Nice blitz. Nice blitz. Good knockaway. That's boy, Thompson's having a good night. I think that's him. Yeah. Thompson comes on a blitz off the edge and then knocks the ball away on a pass.
Unblocked. The guy that Thompson would have been, it's funny the way those things work out.
That's 2 tackles and a what do you got? A PBU? Is that what that is? Is that technically a PBU when he knocks it away?
I think it's a blocked pass is what they call those.
Is that what that is? Whatever that is, man. What a night. 28's having a night so far.
It's going to set up 3rd and 10. Lots of 3rd and 10s in this game.
We're
almost at the end of the first quarter. And the theme of this game early on may be 2 things: 3rd and 10 and sacks.
And there's a sack, and that's Alfred Collins. And Sweat was involved too. But I think Alfred Collins is the guy who finished it.
We're going to go into the first quarter. We're going to get Penn State. Boy, this feels like a Penn State game right now. Iowa State. Who's going to get credit for that sack?
I think it's Collins, but Sweat turned him inside.
Let me see who they.
That's a great job by
Sweat. I'm curious. Are they going to punt this with 0 time? No. What are we doing?
I was going to say, wait, you get the quarter here, right?
The quarter's
there
done.
it is. Okay, quarter done. Quarter done.
So let's see. Sacks. Murphy has 1, and they gave Ford and Collins half sacks.
Gotcha. Okay. Ford and Collins half sacks. That makes sense. Yeah, Ford was the other guy.
And technically, they did call that a pass breakup in the
pass
stat.
breakup. There it is. 3-0.
Chad, you look at the Texas like official stats on defense, and it feels like they have like 5 things listed for tipping, swatting, hitting.
Yeah.
Breaking up, like whatever. When a ball's in the air, it feels like they got a lot of things that they call it.
Yeah, they're doing some good. They're doing some good work tonight. All right, into the first quarter, 3-0 Iowa State. Catch, let's give Pinthouse a little love here. I'm working on my Southern sensibility. Check out Pinthouse and all the great stuff. You see it at the top there. Wear your UT gear. Get $2 off pints during Longhorn football games. And tomorrow, it's an NFL Sunday. When you hit a Pinthouse location, you get $4 off pitchers. Cowboys and Texans in the noon window tomorrow. Oh, get on out to a Pinthouse and get you some of that. There's your QR code. Get the menu. Hit that Cannonball Meat Lovers pizza. That's the one I love. The Jolly Rogers program will get you all kinds of stuff. We got to check out the Ben White location for an Orange Bloods get-together recently. Shout out to you if you were out there. Man, what a facility. That is the Shangri-La if you are a Pinthouse fan and you want to go hang out. And love that Pinthouse beer. Blake, the super producer, lets us know, Catch. It's now 16-7 Washington. Oregon State took that opportunity with the fumble they created and then gave it right back to Washington. And then Penix put it in the end zone. It's 16-7 Huskies in that game. They're in the second quarter, I think, right now.
Am I allowed to hey, me
Go
too.
ahead,
Nick, me too. I don't know if you saw it, but I used my opportunity between the first and second quarter to engage in some rogue products as well. All right, so Chad, I was trying to ask you this question when there was like, I thought we were going to the quarter, and somehow in 30 seconds, Iowa State got an entire possession inside of 30 seconds there. Iowa State's the happier of the two teams right now.
No doubt.
If you're Texas and you're Sarkisian, you're getting sucked into the game that Iowa State. It's funny. They're coming back with an interview for Steve Sarkisian. I wonder if she would ask him this question. How do you play this game on your terms and not their terms? Is it going to have to be they got to find a way to get a lead for this game to really turn into a game on their terms. But Iowa State's defense has been really good so far.
Yeah, it really has. Iowa State's about to punt out of their end zone here, so we'll see how this goes. Let's see if they can
setting up an Xavier Worthy punt return here. He's going to get it. He's got tons of space.
Oh,
watch
could
out.
Be big. Could be big.
Tons of space.
Come on, X. Come on, X. Come on, X.
He brings it back to about the
Great
34.
cut. Good return.
All right, so look, now you're Texas. You start this drive in field goal range. best field position by a mile. So they really need to get 7 points out of this.
They really do. My advice would be 4s and 1s. That's their success so far. Baxter's shown them some. Worthy's been worthy, and then a little bit of Sanders has been in there. But I'd stick with 1 and 4. But I agree with you. 7-3 would feel great if you're a Texas fan here in about 3-4 minutes.
It feels, well, let's see what happens on this play. A little ball out to the flat. They hit Baxter on a little ball that's going to gain about 4. You know what this feels like, Chad? Give me like a poor man's Daniel Cormier. Someone who's not dominant on the ground, but like that's what they do. Because I feel like I'm watching a UFC fight that's being played on the ground.
It's funny you said that because I was just thinking to myself, this is like a UFC fighter that's fighting like GSP or Damian Maia.
Yeah.
You're thinking of it. Get off the ground. Damian Maia would be my favorite example because he never could punch much. But boy, if you let him get you on the ground, you were done.
And it'd be real boring on TV. It's like, hey, we're in the 3rd round, and I don't know that any significant strikes have been landed.
No, but you're getting smothered.
I mean, this is already a 3rd and 2. They got Jaden Blue in the game at running back after Baxter picks up. So they've changed running backs already on this drive. We've got a Baxter touch, a Blue touch. It's
here
3rd
we go.
and
Catch
2.
Third and short.
That's a good, strong run.
There it is. This is what killed them.
Oh, that's a bad spot.
It's what killed them against TCU, and they damn near get it. No,
they're giving them the first down, I think.
Yeah, that official ran in, I think, and said, let's move the sticks, but I don't know.
Well, the spot, he got the first down. The spot is bad. Why are we going to commercial?
You know what, Catch? I will not accept that explanation because I've never seen that happen in the Big 12. I don't know what you're talking about. When have you ever seen a Big 12 official lay a bad spot?
Fox Sports Online popped up a commercial. We're back. It's like, what the hell's going on?
And we're back. First and 10.
Not finding anything open. He's going to screw. No. Well, we got a flag. It's a touchdown.
Wow.
What
a great play by Ewers. All the way to the
issue is there is a flag on the play. It's an Adonai Mitchell touchdown.
Let that be on Iowa State. What a great play that was. That is a gutsy throw. Maybe not the throw you'd advise in every situation, but yeah, it's on Texas. Dadgum. What a play that was.
I tell you what, that should also go on the Quinn Ewers highlight tape.
Oh, my Lord.
He threw that ball while rolling to his left. He throws a Hummer on a line. It's such a clean ball on such a line that like the DBs who are watching him throw it can't do anything.
What was he looking at? He even threw a little pump fake in. They didn't show the full replay, but man, what a throw that was. It's a shame they don't get it. Now 1st and 20. Now you're back out of field goal range here. Little swing out to the left. Here comes Jaden Blue.
I like that play, Chad.
Yeah, and maybe that's your replacement catch for the swing pass to Jonathan Brooks out of the backfield. He was good at both. Maybe Blue takes that part and Baxter takes the run part to cover it all.
Well,
but that
and
was
that's
a nice
two
play.
times they've gone to Blue in the passing game, and he's delivering as a receiver. Yeah, he's got 2 for 18. Now it sets up a 2nd and 8. So, again, it's weird. This drive, they're in the red zone or outside of the red zone, down 3-0. It's been kind of an awkward drive because of the penalty. They run it on 2nd down. Blue a little tentative trying to go through the hole.
Oof, yeah.
He's going to lose a yard. There wasn't a lot there for him, but B, it's got to be a little bit more assertive than that.
Yeah, it's different when they hand it to somebody that's not wearing 24. It just is. I mean, we're seeing it tonight. These guys obviously trying to find their way, find their footing, but yeah, that was a real tentative run. And now this is Texas.
He cuts back into the hole, and this is one of these. This guy hasn't played a lot of football this year. He cuts into the hole as we look at. I guess I'll wait. It's not that big of a deal. He cut into the hole, and the defender was there, had nowhere to go. Yeah. Ewers going to take his shot into the end zone.
Get out ball.
Like holding. They're not going to call it.
That's close. Nothing there. All right.
I'll be honest. There wasn't a whole lot different, it felt like, about that versus the play we saw along the sideline.
I agree.
They're kind of hand fighting a little bit. The ball's in the air. No, there's nothing there. That's a good call. It's a good.
Yeah,
no
that
call.
didn't need a flag, did it? No.
No, and there probably was less hand and body fighting than there was on that pass interference. Still don't think that was a pass interference, but
Here comes
that certainly wasn't either.
Big play here. 39-yard field goal in a game where every point feels like it is going to be massive. And he nailed it.
And even though the Longhorns get points on the board, it still feels like we're on the ground.
Yeah,
it does. I feel like we're officially into the back end of a second round fight in the UFC where neither fighter has been on their feet, and it's just been like, oh, hey, he's trying to get to the cage. He's
Absolutely.
trying to get. Oh no, he's not.
Yeah. Oh, you're absolutely right. It is that kind of fight. It is. Oh, here, this is a good example. You mentioned Cormier. For anybody who watched, remember Cormier when he fought Anderson Silva? Remember that fight?
I don't.
That was a fight where the crowd was booing him because he wouldn't let Silva stand up.
Yes.
It's that kind of feel. But here, Catch, we're in a game now. I feel like somebody needs to go find the Cy-Hawk trophy because whoever wins this game feels like they need the trophy that the Iowa State winner gets. It's that kind of ball game. It feels Big Ten-ish. It just feels like a workman's kind of game. And Texas needs to do two things right now. Be as patient as you can and just win the game. Now, I mean, honestly, if I'm a Texas fan right now, if I can sign right now for 6-3, I'm going to elbow people out of the way and sign it right now.
Look, you're right, but I want to argue with you.
You go ahead. I knew that you would because
I said I want to.
Yeah.
I've already conceded. You're right, Chad. You're right. I'm not going to say I'm wrong, but I am saying that you're right.
Fair enough.
Okay?
Fair enough.
But I want to see this Texas team spread its wings and fly. I mean, we're in week 11 and this team is winning, but they're not soaring.
Right.
And I'm not saying they're going to soar in this game,
right.
But look, I watched Oklahoma tussle with BYU earlier today, and I was making fun of Oklahoma. It's like you're playing down. And BYU probably should have won that game. I mean, there's a point there where it's 24-24. They're knocking on the goal line, BYU is, and they get a pick six the other way that really changes the game for Oklahoma. But BYU got the ball back immediately and went right down the field and scored again. There's a world out there where that was 31 or I guess 38-24 for BYU. And it's like, what the hell's happening with Oklahoma?
Yeah, you're right.
Just, like you got to. I want to see good football. I don't want to see Iowa versus Iowa State. But so far, that's exactly what we're getting.
Yeah, and again, we just have to keep saying it. It's one of those things. It's your thing about I'm not giving you an excuse, but I am possibly giving you the reason. Jonathan Brooks is special. He's been having a special season, and you can just feel the difference. You can feel it when a certain guy's off a basketball team. You can feel it when a certain guy's out of the lineup in baseball. And 24 just makes this team click, and they're just trying to find a different rhythm without him. But the patience is the key. This whole game has turned into the Guns N' Roses ballad. It's patience. That's what they have to have because Iowa State's doing exactly what they want.
Patience. Yeah.
Everybody get their whistling. Get your whistling set. Start whistling because you're going to need some patience.
I don't think there's a Texas fan right now that wants to hear that.
I know. Here comes another complete pass from Iowa State, though. And you got Texas defensive backs staring at each other after plays, talking it out.
Paul says in the super chat, I absolutely hate talking about the refs, but it's hard not having an icky feeling about the officials after the start of this game and your mark there.
Your mark is there.
Remember, I will say this, Paul. The officiating's not been bad.
No, I don't think it's been bad, but
we questioned a call, but it's been okay.
My theory on this is I've said it before. I think they'll give Texas and Oklahoma calls when they're up late but they don't give you the call when you're down late. Just don't be chasing late, because then the official's brain tells them that it tells them to make those calls. You got to keep it as close as you can.
Chad Sandman says in the chat, I've already accepted the fact that this game will come down to the final possession.
I think you might be right, Sandman. It does feel like that.
Meanwhile, Iowa State carving this Texas defense up in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on what it is. Is there somebody they're trying to attack here? And this is just them just working the middle of the field.
Yeah, I was going to say it's about the acreage that they're attacking, Catch. It's not a guy. You said it earlier. It's in cutting routes. It's the slant they love. They think Texas is susceptible to the slant, like you said earlier, as opposed to the crossers that Houston saw. Iowa State sees it as a slant game, and they're killing Texas with it at times.
Well, and Iowa State's trying to stick with the run, and it's not there. But when they throw the ball right now, it feels like they're winning that battle against the Texas secondary. And, here we are. Like now, by the time this next play is run, we're going to be under 9 minutes in the second quarter. Look, Chad, we're still on the ground.
Yeah.
Why won't he let him off the ground?
We're still taxiing. Are we still taxiing? Which runway are we on? Are we still going to Milwaukee? Where are we flying to? Yeah.
Feels like we're sitting on a plane and they're like, guys, we have to fix the air conditioning. Just sit here in the hot non-air conditioning for 2 hours while we fix the air conditioning. Sorry, it's 140 in the airplane.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are out of tomato juice. We're going to need a 45-minute break to get tomato juice. Thank you for flying.
By the way, Oregon State kicked a field goal on their last drive.
There you go,
Beavers. 16-10 Washington. By the way, Longhorns, big third down here as Iowa State approaching. There's a lot of things I'm looking at the same time. The bottom line right now for Iowa State is 3rd and 4 with 8:10 to go. They're in field goal range. They've done a good job of working the middle of the field. They do it again. But interesting spot here because the ball arrives near the third down marker, and they're going to give him a first. But I don't think he had. I didn't think in the live watch of that in real time. I didn't think he actually gained. He bobbles the ball.
Yeah, let's
and
see.
Then when he recatches it right there, it's like a no gain. But where his feet were when the ball arrives was, I thought, a little short. Let's see if the Longhorns either challenge this or if there's a review.
Yeah,
they gave him a first down.
This is one of those where if you're college football and you're paying attention, I would think this is one you take a second look at, right? I mean,
no, they are. This is going to review.
Yeah, got to look at
it. The question is, I think this isn't going to be first down. This is going to be either 4th and short or 4th and 3.
I agree.
But he didn't get the first down, and depending on where you think he caught the ball, I think this sets up a 4th and short. Let's just talk about it right now, assuming that's exactly what happens. You going for it, or you taking the points in a 3-3 game? We're in the middle of the second quarter, and points are at a premium.
What's the yard line for Iowa State?
It'd be like a 47-yard field goal.
Oh.
Is the down and distance kind of makes you think maybe you go for it. But here's the thing. What play would you call, given that I don't know that I'd want to go for it on 4th and 1 if I'm Iowa State? Do they have a tush push?
I'd run a slant.
I think I would go if I thought I did the tush push. Well, it depends on how far away we're talking here. Because this is either 4th and a foot or, oh my God, what a throw. I thought he caught that. I'm watching the Washington game.
Oh.
Some of these Washington receivers.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I'm watching a weird commercial where people have fruit on their head. What are you looking at?
I'm watching the Washington-Oregon State game. Oh, it was an incomplete pass. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
Dude, asking badass receivers to make catches in pouring rainstorms, that's another crazy factor in that game.
The ball just went right through his hands, but he got a foot down while his body was twisting. Yeah. At first, I thought it was a great catch, and it was actually –
That's That's an incredible game when it comes to that weather, man. 16-10 Washington right now, late second quarter. Obviously, Texas fans, you need Oregon State to pull that off. Florida State had the halftime lead against Northern Alabama, or whoever the heck they're playing.
By the way, this Washington-Oregon State game is a grown man's game. It looked like we were about to get
okay, so there's Kansas up on K-State, 27-16 in that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Give
and
me
by
a
the way,
score on that. I mean, give me a time on that.
let's see.
It's 13-30 third quarter.
Okay. So
just
second half. Gotcha. Yeah, I can make an argument that Texas can benefit either way there. If Kansas wins, it just knocks K-State into a third loss, and it knocks them out of the discussion. The only problem with that is if Texas ends up in a tiebreaker with a group of teams, it would help them to be in a tiebreaker with K-State because they did beat them.
Yeah, I mean,
but I could argue positive either way.
Here's what I would say. I think in a rematch, Will Howard against the Texas defense it's gonna be 4th and 3. Hey, Chad, look at that, man. Sometimes your boy
Look at that.
just sees it exactly the way it happens.
Look at you. Look at you.
I didn't even need a replay. I saw it happen in full speed.
Well done.
These Big 12 officials. Matt Campbell's like, what's going on, guys? I thought you were in our hip pocket. Because here's what I would say. You could go back on the officiating on that and look in slow motion replay. You call whatever you want to there.
Yeah. You know what, Cats? That's why they call you the Peyton Manning of the watch along, because you see it all and you see it fast.
But what I saw in real speed, they're showing it in slow motion right now. So what do you do now? Because now it's an incomplete pass. You got to go for it, right? Because this is a long field goal.
Yes. And my answer still stays the same. If it had been 4th and short, I'd say run a slant. It's 4th and a little longer. I'd say run a slant. Because so far, Texas has had some trouble with it.
They're going to try a bomb.
I'd stay aggressive here unless I loved my kicker. Well, they love it.
You better love it because this is going to be 51 yards.
51.
I'm saying in advance, I don't like this.
Big boy kick, 51 yards. I'm going to say there's no way he makes this. It's a worthless attempt. He's going to miss it dramatically, and he did. Hook, bad.
And that's just bad. It's bad game management for Matt Campbell.
Bad hook.
You've been able to move the ball pretty damn well in those situations. By the way, Washington just got in the end zone. They just scored a touchdown. Washington is putting up a big boy performance in the first half against Oregon State. I won't do that thing where I'm like, it's over, or they're separating, or this game. But they're up 2 scores now on Oregon State, late second quarter. Big time game so far for Michael Penix Jr. as well.
In a driving rainstorm.
In a driving rain. But you know what? If you played your entire career in the state of Washington, you're as prepared for playing in this type of situation as anybody could be.
Yeah, no, they ain't scared. They're ready. You're right. They're looking real impressive tonight. Like they know exactly what they want to do. By the way, Cash, you need to explain some psychology for me. I'm Matt Campbell. I just decided to kick a 51-yard field goal in that situation. And when my kicker missed it, I screamed at the field goal team coming off the field. I screamed at them. Can you please explain that to me? Or is he yelling at officials there because he feels like they got the spot wrong?
It's probably that.
Okay. All right. That would make me feel a little better.
Even if he's screaming, I don't know who he was screaming at, but he's still mad from the spot change.
You're right. He's mad from that. Even though they got it right, he'll see it when he sees a replay. You saw it correctly in real speed. Thankfully, they did too, and double-checked themselves. They got that right. So now you're still in the same 3-3 bar fight. Texas gets good field position out of this, out towards midfield. Now you got to get something going here, Catch.
It's just a really bad call by the Iowa. If that was Sarkisian, we'd be ripping the game management decision there.
Yeah.
Matt Campbell can get some of that smoke as well. It's just a really, really bad. It's a lack of awareness for what's going on in the game. It just kind of where you are on the field.
Read that super chat out loud.
From Stanley, buy or sell at a key point in this game. Your Mark will run onto the field and overrule a call like he's Vince McMahon.
Hey, they do have the new agreement with the WWE, so maybe. Oh, wow. That's funny. Yeah, no, you're right. But here's the difference. We know Sarkisian wouldn't have had his kicker kick a 51-yarder when it was only 4th and 3. You know Sark was going for that. There's no doubt about it. I get that Matt Campbell's trying to sort of stick with his DNA, but to me there, you have two options. You have go for it, or maybe you have punt there. I don't know if I'd go for the kick. But then again, he may love his kicker. That kid might have hit a 56-yarder this year for all I know. But we'll see. Let's see what Texas does with this.
Well, they go right out of the gate to Xavier Worthy on first down. They get another first down.
Plenty of time here. Texas could really use a lead at the half. A 10-3 feels good right now. Just go get a lead. Start getting some rhythm on offense.
I tell you what, throwing the ball to Baxter out of the backfield doesn't feel the same as throwing the ball to Jaden Blue.
No, definitely doesn't. It also felt like Xavier Worthy was expected to maybe throw a block out there, and he missed it. And it was a good tackle from Iowa State out there on Baxter. Only got him a yard. 2nd and 9 here. So Texas hadn't been able to, at times, that first down, got him everything. But now you get these first downs where you're getting nothing or just a yard here, and you're setting up a tough 2nd down situation.
Boy, but look who's open. How is Xavier Worthy getting this open?
Wow.
I guess you just got to give Sarkisian credit for getting his receivers against this defense in space.
Well, look who's near him, too. Who's the other receiver over there with him? It's Mitchell again. They're running these double routes catch where the attention goes to Mitchell a little bit, and if you take your eye off of him for a second, then they're hitting Worthy. So they're kind of using one to distract for the other. I like that idea.
Longhorns going a little gadgety here, a little end around.
Now
the ball's on the ground.
Oh, no. Cover that ball.
Iowa State got it.
Oh, please cover that football. To waste that play, a successful trick play, this is –
You got to be better than that if you're Xavier Worthy.
Come on. This is – oh, no. Iowa State covers the fumble.
First of all, it's a great call by Sarkisian. He's got Iowa State completely off balance. We literally just saw this in the Washington game where it's a good hit.
Puts a helmet on the ball.
Right on the ball. But if you're Worthy.
How does Christian Jones not get that? Oh, that could have been such a great play for Jones, covering the ball all the way down that field to the right tackle, and he just jumps over the ball. He was running too fast at that point. He couldn't get it. Oh, good grief. And John Haycock just had a happy moment.
This, honestly, that felt like he's up on his 2 feet. They separate, Chad. They've separated. He's up off the turf or off the canvas in the octagon, and then he gets taken down right away again.
Yep. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly it. And now back to a slant route that didn't work. Good defense there for Texas. Finally, Barron helping break that up. And the TV is showing David Benda. Was Benda involved in this? Let's see. They're saying Benda got in there. He did. He tipped I missed it. Yeah, David Benda tipped the ball away and felt bad because he thought he should have a pick. That would have been a really tough pick, but a good job of knocking the ball away from 33. That's great defense. Now 2nd and 10. And Iowa State's backed up inside their own 10. Oh, man, they almost picked it all up in one play, though. Boy, they're getting some success with these short routes.
Spot. At the end, his body surges across where the first down marker is, and they end up spotting him a full yard short of the first down marker. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, so now we'll go under 5 minutes in the second quarter with this play. This game's got to be about maybe not score wise, but pace wise.
We talked about this a little bit ago for Iowa State. Remember, this was what do you do? What would you have called on 4th and inches?
Yeah.
Then what would you have called on 4th and 3? That's the play. They just converted for a first down.
Yeah.
So now across the 20-yard line. That's the play they should have called at the 30.
Yeah, good call. That's it. I was saying call the slant. That's not a slant, but call a short pass route. That was
now
a different
they're working that
Oof.
skinny. That was almost like Michael Irvin back in the day. They're running that little skinny slant, that little skinny post.
Texas player banged up, which is Williams, and a flag. Ooh,
What are they going to call here?
That is not a good look catch on Williams there. He's dragging that left arm as he comes off.
We've got a personal foul. Targeting.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Now, I didn't see targeting.
I did not either. This better be good. Derek Williams is the one coming off hurt, in case you missed that one. Okay, not there.
He does.
Right there. What, on Williams?
Yeah, watch. He ducks his head bad.
Let's see.
No.
Oh, that's not targeting, though, is it? Does he get that?
No. I take it back.
That felt like a shoulder to
his head.
Dips the head.
It's his shoulder that hits the helmet. So
no. The contact.
I don't think that's targeting.
I don't think either helmet was involved in the contact point. And Williams ends up. It sucks extra bad for Williams because he got hurt.
And he hurts his shoulder because that actually is where the contact actually takes place. This would be the difference between 1st and 10 at about the 35 versus 1st and 10 at midfield.
Yeah, Catch, that's a whole new brand of why you need to hit what you see and see what you hit. Because a coach will look at that and go, come on, young man. A, we don't want you to get a targeting, and B, you can't go hurting your shoulder like that. Yeah, they threw the targeting off. That's a good call. So not targeting, but now does Derek Williams get to play? Feels like it might be a stinger catch.
Yeah, and look, so now it's 1st and 10 on the 35 instead of midfield. I think you're right. I think you're probably looking at a stinger here. That's another call going to replay where the Longhorns those calls could have gone against Texas and we'd have grumbled, but we would have seen worse. Texas getting, I think, some 60-40 calls actually go in the favor the way they should. Something to keep an eye on, considering
great
we're
job.
all convinced the screw job is coming at some point. David Benda there with a nice play. He's having a nice little quarter. I don't want to go so far as to say he's having a good game, but he's certainly having himself a quarter.
Run defense, awesome again. Murphy was a part of clogging that up too, and then Benda finished it off. Texas against the run has just been great. Iowa State's run numbers have to be wretched right now. I can't think of one run that's gone anywhere for them.
Well, because it hasn't happened.
No.
They can't run the football.
Yeah. Now we both said it, so they're probably about to bust a 60-yarder. No, thank goodness.
Well, no, I mean, look.
More slant.
If our jinx powers were working tonight, that play would start being an incompletion.
Yeah, you're right.
All we've talked about is how well they're working the middle of the field, and they continue.
Yeah. Remember that Texas OU game where Lil Jordan Humphrey felt like he could have caught 39 slants if they'd have thrown them all to him? That's what this feels like tonight for Iowa State. It doesn't feel like they can miss on a slant route. Just throw them all night.
It's 3rd and 3. Let's see if they go back to the well, or whether they find something else in the passing game that they like. Are the Longhorns going to start blitzing and bringing extra pressure more? Nope. They drop. Look like they – oh, wow.
Oh, man.
There was a lot that could have happened on that play. In the end, it is an incomplete pass.
Mm-hmm.
But Iowa State was able to move the ball out a little bit. You know, that drive starts deep. Now they've got it towards midfield. They're not going to get a first down. That could have been it wasn't going to be a touchdown because Jaron Thompson was going to blow that up. But it probably should have been a first down, and it wasn't a good throw by Rocco Becht.
Yeah, so Iowa State will be punting here. So less than 3 minutes to go. Texas with all 3 timeouts. and a chance to go try to put some more points on the board. Worthy with a good return. Worthy up the middle. He cuts it through to the right side. He may be gone, but there's a flag. There is a flag.
Come on.
He's going to the end zone, but there's a flag.
Come on.
Oh, we've got some laundry. We actually had a football play, but I think it's coming back. Catch, please, no. Can we please see a touchdown in this game?
It's such a good return.
Tell me they're not calling this on Texas. Oh, this better be a block in the back that was right at the beginning that sprung the whole thing. That was such a beautiful return. I love watching him return it, catch straight up the gut like that when he gets to get the speed going. He is such a blur when he takes off.
Well, there are maniacs out there that think he shouldn't be the main primary punt returner.
Yeah, that's insanity.
We've got a block in the back on Texas.
Come on.
I haven't seen it. I'm just saying. I'm going to say we're going to see whatever is supposed to have been seen here.
This better
I haven't seen it yet. Is this our first one of the night where we go, the Big 12 just screwed Texas?
Keaton Crawford. They call him Crawford?
Oh, it happens right in front of the back judge. It's a 50-50, but it happens right in front of the back judge.
Catch, he's on the shoulder there. He didn't get the number on the back, did he?
I think it's a bad call, but
that's not good.
The back judge is like trying to call. He's looking right at it.
Come on, zebra.
By the way, shout out to App State today.
Mm-hmm.
James Madison gets game day at their crib.
And sets a
App
record.
State spoils the biggest moment in James Madison football history.
They did. You hear how many people they had out there? They set a record. 26,000 people for game day. That's more than the stadium holds. I mean, it was
guess
crazy.
where this drive's going to start, Chad?
Oh. Okay, because of the God, I don't know, the 10?
First and 10 on the 10.
Oh, God.
2:25 to go in the second round.
That's so in the second round of a 5-round fight, a 4-round fight tonight. Yeah, catch. I know neither of these teams is headed there in 2024, but it feels like both of these teams need to go to the Big Ten if they're going to play like this for, game in and game out. Texas just needs to find some rhythm on offense. And I mean, I'm going to keep saying it. Baxter in the run game. Where's Baxter's average right now?
His average is 5.8. The last time, it feels like 45 minutes ago, he was at 3 for 18.
Yeah.
He's 4 for 23. There's 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. They've run it with the running backs 7 times.
I like him in the run game, and I like Worthy. At this point, though, you're telling me they've run the ball 7 times total, even with those successful runs early. This is where I keep going back to that thing. My eyeballs tell me Sark would much rather see the ball fly through the air than run it. Let's see how he attacks the last, 3 minutes or so. To me, you got to see what this game is. This is now turned into you labeled it. It has turned into a ground war. It's a ground war. It's a wrestling fight in UFC. It is a phone booth bar fight.
The problem with that is Texas is not effectively. They're in a fight and they don't look. It's like getting in a fight with a big guy and he takes you to the ground and like nothing's happening, but that ain't your fight. And this Texas's fight right now, and they're not good at this. Without Jonathan Brooks, they haven't yet proven they don't have an identity yet on offense with Brooks out. And that's one of the things that's really hurting them in this game. Mitchell's only got 1 touch. Sanders only has 1 touch. Not that they haven't tried to get the ball to those guys on other.
Great run. There you go.
There you go.
It's a good run. CJ Baxter right up the middle. They spread it out, a 3-by-1 formation to spread the field. That's a good aggressive run there.
Big hole. I mean,
huge hole. Yeah. Campbell did a great job.
We're going to take him off the field if if he's not going to get through that one, maybe you got to put Blue in. He found it and he made a big run. Makes you wonder, man, if that had been Jaden Blue, is that a bigger play? There's so much room.
The other thing tonight, Texas just can't hook plays together because the 1st and 10 to follow it was another just pass out of bounds. Like Iowa State is making Texas be so patient and take their medicine and, slog down the field. But Texas just doesn't feel like they can even put 2 plays together that feel good. And they couldn't do it there either.
After this play, I'll give you a few super chats and catch up there.
Yep.
Ewers is going to be
sack.
3rd sack of the first half. Now, that's a sack we don't want to see. That was a legit big guy falls on little guy. We don't want to see that with Ewers a lot in this game. Although he looks a lot more comfortable tonight than he did last week, where it was like, don't touch me at all.
No doubt.
He seems like he's – I'm not watching Quinn Ewers tonight and thinking to myself that something's going on there. He looks perfectly fine. He just hasn't been super effective in this game, but the injury doesn't look like a huge issue.
Wow,
that
nice throw.
is a great throw
to Sanders. A crossing route to JT Sanders and one of those beautiful, just feathered throws from Quinn Ewers.
Boy, that goes on his pro tape.
That's pretty.
That was a really pretty throw by Quinn. And now, if you're Sanders has hurt his ankle though.
Damn it.
And I think that might have been one of those hip tackles, Chad.
Good grief. I was just about to say, I love that route for Sanders because it doesn't feel like something a tight end should do or where you'd normally see him. So it's an aggressive kind of thought. And now he ends up hurt. It's hard to tell what this is.
I watch how he gets tackled as they're going out of bounds.
Does he drag kind of
exactly what happens.
Oh, kind of drag tackle
on the leg, but he does do the hip tackle.
Yeah. That kind of bulldog tackle. You're right. Yeah.
And
so they're looking at
he's holding that ankle, and that's bad because I think you're going to be that may mean Texas is without Jatavian Sanders for the rest of the game.
Well, man, now you're really, again, you're calling. I was going to say it earlier, Kat. You're calling on Sark here, man. This is what he does. This is who he is. He's just got to come up with stuff to win this damn game. His defense is playing pretty badass. They're not giving up huge chunks. Now they're giving up these slant routes, but they're not giving up a ton. So it's just, again, I'll keep saying it. It's a patience kind of game, even more so now if you don't have zero.
By the way, if you're into the prize picks thing,
it's not looking good.
Well, Sanders' prize picks number for receiving yards coming into the game was at 33.5.
Uh-huh.
After that play, he's at 2 for 32.
Oh, dear God. Say it ain't so.
Not that in the great of all the things that we're talking about, that matters the least. But I know some of us were in on that prize picks action. That one hurts.
Taking a shot across.
However, doesn't. Ewers now working the middle of the field.
Whittington to the 40. Whittington 35.
That's the biggest play that Jordan Whittington's made in a long time.
That is huge. 37 seconds with the clock stop, and Texas has all 3 timeouts. We've seen bad clock management, obviously, from Sark and this crew. Let's see what it looks like at the end here. Texas has got to at least get a field goal out of this sequence now.
Oh, man. Jordan Whittington runs a great route, gets completely wide open in the middle of the field after the catch, picks up 30 on that play.
Yeah, so right now, if they get nothing, Auburn can hit this kick. 6-3 is a minimum here, catch. 10-3 would be awesome. Texas has got to – now see if they can run – oh, now they got a player hurt. Who's that? Is that Campbell?
I think it's DJ Campbell.
Man,
they're looking at
his foot.
I think they're checking his knee.
Yeah, some foot, leg, knee. You're right. Good grief. I was just about to say, can Texas get 2 back-to-back plays on offense? They haven't really done it tonight, but now
Campbell's holding his knee. Ugh. The doctor's testing it with the foot and the ankle, like the arch.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good. Although, to be fair, Campbell doesn't look like he's in pain. Like he's sitting up and he's not in anguish, but He is holding his knee. You don't ever want that.
No, especially after seeing what you saw with Sanders. You don't want that at all. Now let's see what this next with 3 timeouts here. There's all kinds of options. If you loved, I mean, this is a perfect opportunity in one of the next 2 plays. Try a run play you like because you got timeouts here.
Hey, Chad, real quick while we're back to action. We got to knock these super chats out when we get a sec. 37 seconds to go.
Yeah, we'll get them in the
30-yard line. Time's not really an issue. They got all the timeouts in the world. Real quick, while there's a pre-snap penalty, Gary says, and this may be apropos, $4.99, these MF and refs. Well, they're about to make Texas go 1st and 15. False start.
Now that pulls you out of reasonable field goal range. Now you'd be asking Auburn for a long one. Now you got to get some yards.
Paul, following Carey's theme, says, I renew my concern. That's bullshit. He's talking about after the punt return for a touchdown had been wiped off.
Yeah, Paul.
Staying in the theme, Jamari Lee says, the officiating is ridiculous. Also, Baxter is hurt.
Oh, see, I didn't see that. That would be obviously extra bad. Yeah, I don't love that call if it was on Crawford. That didn't feel good.
Ewers looking for the downfield throw, checks down to Jaden Blue. He's picking up yardage as a receiver. I like this role for Jaden Blue. One more super chat from Mike, who says, F this conference, it's refs, and the shitty locals we have to play.
Oh, see, there it is. Ames at night, Mike. It's a weird place. And it's turned into one of those games. Texas just got to get out of this. Sark talks about versatility. You're going to have to find some versatility to get out of this thing.
2nd and 9 from the 29.
Yeah, you're going to need – I'd get about –
empty set. Blue's coming back into the backfield. They're going to throw it out to him in the flat? Nope.
No.
You're going to check it down? Nope. He finds Witt, who doesn't get out of bounds. You got 3 timeouts. You're okay. Take one now.
Call one. Call your timeout.
There you
go. There you go.
21 seconds.
Did they call that timeout?
Yeah, Texas did.
Hey. Come on.
You're so surprised by the suddenness of the timeout being called.
Just baby steps. I like it. I was waiting for that clock to run and me to start screaming, but that's the Cowboy fan in me.
Yes.
That's expecting bad time management. Well done, Sark.
I thought that thing was going to tick down to 16 before the whistle came.
Yeah, isn't this where Dak just starts flailing his arms? Yeah.
To be fair, Chad, I thought the same thing. You said it. So you're the guy who looks bad, but it did cross my mind. I thought, oh, God, here we go. I'm so used to it. Matter of fact, they added 2 seconds.
There you go. You
There's
took 20 seconds back.
They got the timeout in before the end of the play even occurred.
Yeah, and that's why I said you still have that second timeout if you like to run play. If you wanted to try to surprise them with a run play,
you got the whole field to work with on 3rd and 6.
Yeah,
the middle of the field is wide open, but they are going to
Ewers scrambling, trying to find something in the end zone, incomplete.
He was looking for he was looking to go for the home run.
Yeah,
don't like that play call.
No, now you are
with 17 seconds, maybe they felt like that was. Well, what do you got here? We got a penalty.
Oh, I didn't see a flag.
I didn't either, but they called something.
Hey, you know what?
Big 12 here. There's a flag, but it's in the. It looks like they're moving backwards. That's not good.
Oh, that is not good.
Now, if you're Iowa State, it's 4th and 6. It's very makeable. Do you push them, make it 4th and 16, push them back a little bit, but you give them a chance to.
Right. You mean 3rd and 16? Yeah. I think you do, don't you? Don't you make Texas run the 3rd down play here? What's the field goal? Oh, they're calling grounding.
Oh, they are.
What?
What? I'll repeat what you said.
Blake, the super producer's telling us it's intentional grounding. What? Okay, so that's loss of down, but
it's essentially a sack and it works like a sack.
You're loss of down here, so it has to be. So it stays 4th down. But now, do you kick? Where would this kick be?
We're about to see. Oh, it's back there. It's
hey,
gonna be
Auburn,
50 plus.
Auburn has shown he can make some
at like the 33. So it's like a 50-yarder.
You let him.
And I guess it has to be grounding. There is no receiver in the area
because
there's not a receiver within 25 yards at a ball.
That's weird. That's just, I don't know. After seeing that replay, this doesn't feel like grounding to me. It might be by the letter of the law. That doesn't feel like grounding, but okay. Burt Auburn from 50.
Which he would have missed.
And
but
missed
Iowa
it.
State called a timeout.
Sark
called a timeout. There you go, Sark. You may have iced your own kicker, but
yeah,
he was going to miss that.
Yeah. By the way, just every once in a while, I think Sark needs to take some of that anger that he put towards the guy at the Alamo Bowl and do exactly what he's doing now. Put a little bit of it out on the field a little bit. Show your guys a little fire.
It's okay to be mad.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you need to get mad. Sometimes just
Mike
process.
says, remember Whittington was a running back. Well, at this rate, it's coming and F these refs.
Oh my God. That's a weird way to look at it. Okay.
By the way, he's going for the corner. Says, wow, ISU played a perfectly clean first half. Incredible. Well, there's a chance they're going to go in at halftime down by 3, but
for them, it's what they want, right?
No turnovers. Have they had a penalty called on them yet in this game?
I do not know. We'll get those stats at the half. It doesn't feel like it. I can't remember one.
Real quick. We'll get the field goal here.
Auburn from 50 gets a second shot at it. Like you said, he hooked the first one. Now we're going to get the ice. It's going to be a double timeout.
We got the ice.
Yep, now it's the ice. So that was a Texas timeout, followed by the ice timeout from Campbell. And then Burt Auburn's going to try from 50. And somehow –
kids, real quick.
Yeah.
Iowa State does the penalties first half. Texas 6 for 49. Iowa State 1 for 0 yards.
Wow. Somebody call your mark and tell him well done. I don't know where your mark is right now, but I'll bet you he's hanging with Iowa State people.
No turnovers, no penalties, no touchdowns allowed.
You think your mark and CDC are going to shake hands today at all?
I've seen pictures of them. Yes.
Okay.
They've shaken hands. They've posed for some photos. Are they going to do it at halftime? I don't know.
You're a better man than us, CDC.
So here we go. I don't think any more timeouts can be called.
Come on, Burt.
50 yards. Burt Auburn at the gun in the second quarter. It is up and right down.
Great.
Good.
Get
Bang.
there. Come on,
Bang,
Burt Auburn. Come on, Burt Auburn. Auburn,
the star of the first half for these Texas Longhorns.
Auburn, the team, not effective today. Auburn, the kicker, right down the middle.
He's been waiting for this his entire life.
Boom.
And I tell you what, Sark, he missed that field goal that Sark calls the timeout on.
Yeah.
Sark, great game management, Sark. Great way to nail that.
Catch. Sark knows his guys. He can tell when they're nervous. He can tell when the nerves hit. That's one of his skills. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, Chad, there's two ways to look at what we're watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's ugly both ways. On the national, the rest of the nation is pointing. You know who's happy tonight? Alabama.
Yep.
Because Alabama is losing at the moment the discussion of should they be ranked ahead of Texas. But I'm not on social media right now because I'm writing and I'm talking and I'm trying to do a lot of things. But I can hear the Alabama discussion.
You know who else is happy tonight? Oregon people.
Well, yeah, because their best they no longer will have a top 25 win on their resume. But they're not beating teams 6-3 at halftime.
Correct. This is in a style points discussion. Obviously, this is what we talked about this week. This is a game that if you played Iowa State style, it's not going to have style points. Now you're just in a you got to win it kind of game. So you've made the analogy, and I think it's perfect. This is that thing about do you play the way they want you to play? You're going to have to win the game Iowa State wants to play. Plus, you knew you didn't have Brooks. You might not have Sanders the rest of the game. Hell, is Campbell feeling? We don't know if that's an injury that affects the rest of this game, you could be looking at 2 more offensive weapons that are off the field. And then you're really looking at, and all they have to do, Catch. Iowa State at this point feels like all they need to hit is like 2 or 3 of those key slant patterns. And this gets real complex for Texas.
You look at these first half stats, it's a very average game for Quinn Ewers. I mean, the yardage is fine. The quarterback rating really tells you a story. And in this one, he's not, and that's without a turnover. He's been okay. They have 6 points. And it's kind of reflective. You look at the ground game, Baxter leads the team with 36 yards rushing on 5 attempts. So 6 yards, 7 yards a carry. That's really good, but they're not getting him the ball in volume. The passing game, Worthy's on his way to a 100-yard game. He's been wide open a number of times, but haven't quite. You have the red zone turnover with Worthy's big because we might be looking at a 13-3 game right now, or certainly a 10-3 game at a minimum if he doesn't turn the ball over inside the 10-yard line. So that's points coming off the scoreboard.
God, I forgot about that play. That plus the return where it looked like a bad call there. Geez.
The 2 biggest plays of this game so far are the Worthy fumble and the Worthy punt return that gets called back.
Right.
You could actually make the case that this might be a 17 or 20-3 game if Worthy holds on to the ball, don't have a punt return for a touchdown call back. That's potentially 14 points.
Yeah, I'm thinking 17-3. It feels reasonable without getting too crazy, right? 17-3 feels like a reasonable score.
In a game that feels like it's been very even.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It also feels to me, Catch, and I hate to do this to the Texas defense, but, man, feels like a game where you got to say to the Texas defense, fellas, you cannot give up a touchdown at this point. You can't give up a touchdown because we just don't know if our offense can chase it down. Now, you are up 6-3 here, so a touchdown, it would be 10-6. But, man, Catch, do you trust this Texas offense to go get a touchdown for sure right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if they've got 2 in them.
Yeah, that's fair. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's just 1. You could give up 1. Maybe you can't give up 2.
Like, I think they're going to get 1 before this game is over. But it's not playing like a game where it feels like we're going to get a lot.
Sounds like the Ketchum Dogs are having a party tonight. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah. This might be a good point where, do you mind if I take can we take a timeout?
You go ahead.
Halftime timeout. When we come back, we'll take some super chats. Do we have any? Actually, let's do the super chats first.
Okay, here we go.
The people have paid.
Come on, people. Yeah, we don't want to slack off. We got to do it. All right, what's going on? Now I can't hear you anymore. Did you mute your mic?
Well, yeah, because I thought you could read the super chats while my dogs were barking.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead. Okay, I got you. Yes, William, super chat with $2. I want to win out and only play a New Year's 6 game. That's all William's asking for.
That's not too greedy.
No, still within reach. Still within reach at this point, William. 199 super chat. Texas boy. What's Sark's record going into the half leading? I don't know. I do not know that.
Come on, Chad.
Sorry, don't have that stat in front of me.
It hasn't been good, at least through the first 2 years. Not so bad this year.
No.
Blake May says, I have non-Texas fans texting me saying we are getting hosed by the refs. Well, that and a quarter used to get you a phone call.
Yeah. You knew this. I mean, we talked about it. We knew this kind of stuff was coming. You can't play the games this close and not expect there to be a couple calls that'll swing. But, yeah.
Justin for $9.99 said, Bowles tweets the refs are bad is all that you needed to know. They've been horrendous.
There it is. There it is.
Kirk still in everybody's brains a few days after Chad had him on the show. And that was Blake saying, yes, he has non-Texas fans letting him know that hoses are being used by the refs. We're all caught up on the super chats.
There it is. Okay.
Can we take a little break and I can get a refreshment?
Yeah.
And I might pat some dogs on the bottoms and say, Hush, little puppy.
Before you take a break, let's just give Justin love. Justin, thank you for $9.99 super chat. Just cuz we appreciate you.
No. I got Justin super chat in.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just throwing an extra $9.99 at us?
No. He threw the $9.99, forgot to ask his question.
And you got it in. Okay, good.
And then we did have Tom G. Forgot about Tom here.
Come on,
for $10, stop the penalties, cover the slants, and we win. Well, you know what? Maybe it could be just as simple as that, Tom. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
No, it's slant coverage. That's what it's about. Cover the slant.
Good job, Tom. You're on a roll ever since that midweek gaffe.
OBL politics.
By the way, he did have the best super tweet of the night so far with the Wild Things refresh from Friday's show. And I have been giving consideration for a top 10.
You should.
I've wondered how out of line exactly is that?
It's not out of line as long as you just lay the list out and move on. Don't get into extra explanation. Just 10-1 and move. Stick and move, baby. Floyd Mayweather.
The problem is I know that thing will go 40 pages of people just laying out maybe some pretty, even if I'm not detailed, it may lead to details. Lots of details.
Yep. Just go Floyd Mayweather. Stick and move. You'll be good.
Oh.
All right. So we're going to hit a little break here.
Yeah, I could use a little break.
I can do that too. All right. We'll take a quick break here. It is the watch along. Thank you so much to over 400 folks in the Specs chat. We'll be right back. It's the watch along. It's 6-3 Texas at the half. Hang on.
The thing that he said that kind of blew my mind was that he said, when I got here, it was Iowa and it was Texas. Though he mentioned two teams. It's like, these are the teams. I say this all the time about the other schools who are doing the horns down, not playing us. I'm like, stop being obsessed with us, man. And so, Iowa State offensive lineman saying that he got there and they told him Iowa and Texas, those are the two big games. I'm like, man, and maybe this is why we struggled there so often, but I'm like, we don't think about you ever, Iowa State, okay? We started thinking about you 4 days ago, and that was it.
And that's the thing, Chance, you know this. That's what Texas has to match. They've got to take that feeling away. We've seen some Texas teams that can do it pretty easily. You were on some teams that took pride in doing that, but it does. Jason's right. It is a focus thing. The idea that that's how he started his season. Got to beat the Hawkeyes, and we got to beat Texas. And last year it did end a 3-game, losing streak for Texas. So they are going to be supremely focused. I hope Bo is right. I'm with Bo. I love the short little answers on social media. Let's hope, Chance, that it is a laser-guided reaction from Texas, and they do go in with this attitude of, all right, dude, you asked for it. Here it comes.
Well, first, I want to agree with what Jason said, because I was going to get to the same point. That was the thing that jumped out at me. And you guys have heard me say this all the time, that when we used to watch film, Mac would pound it into our heads. This team is not the team you're going to see on Saturday. It was a recurring theme every film session for 5 years, because Texas is going to get your big shot. And sometimes I think people don't realize it, but to hear a guy at Iowa State, like, what rivalry have we had with ever? Like, who is Iowa State besides the Cyclones with a cow pasture with a field in the middle of it? Like, it's dumb. We don't think about them. But you hear it from his words to say it's Iowa and Texas. I mean, Iowa State's a big game. So that just puts to gravity on it. When I look at this, I think you have to come in that bullet board material. What I told you is that there's a couple of guys that affects, and that's the guys he's going with one-on-one, because he essentially called them out and said, I'm not scared of you. I'm going to whoop your ass. You're coming here to play in the dark, and I guess we're going to have a pillow fight at night. Like, that's calling them out. The rest of the team, they need to come in. Look, I don't know how you could be. I don't care what anybody says. The only focus that they need to have right now is the goal in mind. And this is just a team in the way of their goal. And if getting to that goal of a playoff berth or an opportunity for it, if that is in fact the goal and you're this damn close, You're 9-1 at this point. You've run through the tough part of your schedule, and you've got these 2 games to finish out. If you can't be focused, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs anyway. I mean, this is understanding your goal and knowing we're right there. You should be able to smell it at this point. You're close enough. Be focused and go in and win in a dominant fashion, by the way.
That was a rewind from one of the Outsiders shows, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday during the season. Just this Monday for Thanksgiving week, Outsiders at 9 o'clock on Monday night react. Going and you think to yourself, man, I need to really center my head a little better. And then you realize it's the recorded you and not the live you. I just had that experience, and I do blink.
No, I haven't, but interesting that you did.
Yeah, and I do blink a lot. All right, so let's grab a couple super chats here. We got a little one and a bigger one. Let's start with the little one. He's going for the corner, $1.99. I'm still scared to death, but not of Iowa State. Well, I don't know what you're watching. You ought to be scared.
Well, you're not scared of Iowa State, but they've dragged you into their game so far.
Yeah, scared and they could beat you are two different things, but we get what you're saying. Price Ambler.
Yeah, my man Price. What's up, Price?
$19.99. Catching team. We are off in a remote vacation spot with no access to the game via VPN or other, but I can get you all, and so glad you're doing it. Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear. That's awesome. I love the idea.
Price, let's do lunch soon. Come on now.
There you go. I dig it. I also dig somebody whose name is Price. Like, is that is a first name? That's pretty badass. Okay.
Here's a list of names.
Here's a super chat. $5 just in. Carissa reports the refs won't call any penalties on Texas in the second half. That cannot be guaranteed. That cannot be a guarantee at all.
I'm just not saying anything, Chad.
That cannot be guaranteed. That cannot be guaranteed.
Aiden jumps in with $5 in the super chat. Hold on. I had it up. I clicked it off. I'm putting it back up. Here we go. Coming to you guys for some halftime therapy. I'm about to explode. This Iowa State team is so beatable. Stop with the penalties in all caps. Love you guys. Hook 'em.
Yeah. I would
look. Your Tom G kind of laid it out. You know, the recipe for winning this game, Chad. Just winning the game. You're up 6-3. Finish your drives. Right? Yep. Because that's one of the stories of this game so far is there haven't been a lot of opportunities, but Texas did have some. Texas did get inside the 10. You know, we can all talk about the officials, but like the officials didn't make Xavier Worthy fumble the ball. They haven't made Texas automatically, you know, Texas has been sacked 3-4 times in this game. There are some penalties. There have been, look, I think Texas has had some very advantageous officiating for most of the season from Big 12 officials. It really hasn't been bad. Tonight, on the road, at night, big game kind of atmosphere. This isn't a shock. But Texas also, some of these penalties haven't been terrible. It's like I mentioned one early in the first half when DJ Campbell got called for holding. I didn't think he held the guy, but he did have a full fistful of his jersey. If you can have a full fistful of jersey and not hold a guy, that's what happened. But if your fist is clenched and there's jersey inside of it, like they're going to call that. Yeah. So Texas needs to eliminate some of this stuff. Texas just needs to play a better brand of football. They don't have to do anything crazy. If they can ever get this thing to 10, I think it puts a lot of pressure on Iowa State. Because Iowa State right now, Chad, they're not doing anything on offense. They can't run the ball. They are moving the ball between the 20s in the passing game. But it's not anything that, you know, it's not anything that I think worries you. There's not one guy on that offense. I guess Noel has had a pretty good little first half, but, you know, there's nobody there that you're scared of. So Texas, to me, they just got to play a better brand of football than they have. This, to me, is as much about Texas as anything else. Texas hasn't played well. Formerly, P11T says when Carissa Thompson reported Chad Hastings is just not that. Oh God, he's just not into feet. I knew it was a lie.
Oh my goodness, that's just well done.
You know, I might say that it's comments like that ultimately may be the checkmate, and like what she did the other night
Yeah,
is that just is going to happen now forever.
I think you are probably right. Super chat, $5. This team is the reason I drink. Hook 'em.
Room
Now,
temperature Busch Light.
hey, same kind of room temperature Busch Light. That's funny. So this one catches us along the same lines. Colby got extreme tonight. He says, wasn't going to drink during the game, but that's where I am now. Eagle Rare on the rocks. You don't go from nothing to Eagle Rare on the rocks unless it's a serious game, and that's where Colby is tonight. Also, another super chat, $19.99. Thank you, Kevin. Love the work from y'all. Hope Chad shotguns a beer. I don't think we're going to do that tonight, and I think the Joneses tells you why on another chat. Chad was more of a shot put than a shotgun. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but I do have the electric jellyfish ready to go for the second half because we got to get these Longhorns playing a little more. So I saved the jellyfish for the second half. Maybe that'll work. We'll find out. I was going to ask you earlier, Catch, where is the...
By the way, we got a K-State just took the lead over Kansas.
Okay.
31-27, 10-22 to go in the fourth quarter.
I was going to ask you for a stat in this Texas-Iowa State game, and now I completely forgot what it was. It was an Iowa State stat, I think, but I can't remember what it is.
I can just give you some Iowa State stats.
Throw me some
Beck
stats.
is 11 of 18 for a $110. He's got a 112 quarterback rating. Not good. So, like, you've kept him under control. They don't have a receiver with more than 37 yards receiving. They got Higgins has 4 for 37. Noel has 4 for 36. That's just them working the middle of the field.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Give me third down numbers for both teams.
Okay, let me give you some third down numbers. I was going to go to the game comparison anyway and see if what that tells us. Texas is 3 of 8 on third downs, and Iowa State is 1 of 6.
That's why it feels like a Big Ten game.
Technically, it says that neither team has been in the red zone. So even though there was the worthy fumble, that's not officially a red zone trip for Texas.
Right, because you didn't actually snap the ball from inside the 20. So neither team has snapped a play from inside the 20.
Correct. No red zone attempts.
Good God.
It's just a bunch of zeros.
This really is like a bad Browns-Bengals game from years ago. By the way, Catch, you know it's bad when you think they're showing you stats and they're showing you the actual score, 6-3. Like every time I see it pop up on my screen, I think they're showing me a random stat. And it's like, no, that's the score of the game. Damn it. All right. Looks like they're coming back talking about stuff. So it looks like it's time to hunt for a little jellyfish here.
Let me see if I can find you another stat that's interesting. Here's one. Texas does have 106 yards after contact on pass plays.
Okay.
106 yards. That's twice as much as Iowa State. So, you can see inside of that.
And there's a little good news in there because by you telling me that tells me that even though these slant routes are hitting for Iowa State, they're not hitting big, right?
Oh, absolutely. By the way, Texas ran 34 plays in the first half. More than I thought, actually.
Yeah, good number and more than Sark thought if he thought it was going to be 55, right? All right.
Yeah, he thought this could be a 50-50. It felt like that in the first half, in the first quarter. So they actually controlled the ball and had some success in the second quarter moving the football and just didn't cash in.
The Uncle Mickey super chat, $6.99 Canadian, just left a concert to come home and raise my blood pressure watching this frustrating team. Sorry about that, Mickey. We hope the concert was better than that. Room temperature Busch Light.
Who was the concert?
Yeah, tell us who you went to see in concert. Super chat, $5. Shots on me, everyone. Take a shot for the second half for room temperature. I'll take a little swig of beer. How about that?
Kansas State with a nice play on first down. It looked like the guy who caught it may have pushed a Texas defensive back to the ground. It wasn't called.
Man, Iowa State with 5 rushing yards in the first half. Good grief.
Is that bad?
That's bad. It's really, really bad. This is $4.99 Texas boy. I've killed a half a pint of Henny, smoked a Blizzy, and got 3 teams left on the 15. Pick up Texas by 3. I'm chilling. Wow. Okay. There we go. There's a lot going on in that.
There's a lot going on right now with Texas boy.
Hey, everybody's trying to do it. Sometimes you got to medicate yourself when you're watching your football team.
It's the only way to go through life.
Man, it happens. It happens. All right, 2nd and 8 for Iowa State here. Catch, I will tell you what I'm seeing. You tell me if I'm ahead of you. I got 10, 9, 8 on a play clock.
No, I'm still like a couple of seconds ahead of you.
Beautiful.
All right. So nothing. The cool thing about Fox online, we haven't had any of that crazy ESPN stuff where they go to a commercial break and we come back and I'm behind you by like a minute and a half.
More good run defense from Texas. Jalen Ford ultimately on the tackle there. So it brings up 3rd and 5.
It feels like Iowa State feels like they need to be balanced when it feels like maybe all they need to do is just trust that the passing game is there against. We'll see. This is a big 3rd and 5 early on, 3rd quarter, trying to establish some momentum and control of the game. Will one of these 2 teams strike in the end zone first? There's Iowa State, though. Again, easy pitch and catch. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I mean, this is what Kansas State figured out in the second half against Austin.
Yeah.
You know what? Just let Will Howard throw the ball.
Yeah.
And there's stuff to be there. This is, that's just
that's weird.
Sitting down at the marker. He's finding a little hole in the zone.
Yeah. Nobody was there to cover.
There's nothing really tricky to what Iowa State's doing in the passing game. They are finding spaces that Texas is leaving empty, and they're Rocco Beck is doing a pretty solid job of finding those receivers. Here they go back to the run game, though, and Texas stuffs it. David Benda.
Nice play.
Maybe having his best game, Chad, since September.
Having a night. Early on, it was Thompson that was having the good night, putting plays together. Now we've seen 33 do it. The block the pass away, tip the pass away, and now this. Just a great play. That's a different kind of hip tackle right there. That's a reach out and grab around the hip and bring him to the ground.
And Iowa State now leaves themselves in a 2nd and 13 position. I don't like the way Iowa State has really managed the game offensively.
Yeah, I was about to say they should never run on 1st and 10 again.
They really shouldn't.
I mean, that's a terrible decision for them. Missed tackle for Texas, but they ultimately make the play.
Yeah, 3 got about the 3 that was lost. It's going to be stop me. If you've heard this before tonight, kids, 3rd and 10.
Tonight's game brought to you by 3rd and 10.
I mean, easily there have been more 3rd and 10s in this game. This has got to be like number 6 or number 7 on the night.
When you need the whole distance, turn to Texas or Iowa State. 3rd and 10.
By the way, Florida State now has broken they've gone above 50.
Wow.
It's now 51 pending the extra point. Will be 52-13 North Alabama. So at the end of the day, they've done nothing to hurt themselves.
No. And
whatever we thought, by the way, Iowa State not going to get anywhere near a first down here. They're going to be punting.
Yep. And good
hey, Chad, just real quick, not a terrible drive for Iowa State coming out of halftime in the sense that if they handle this correctly, they're going to put the Texas offense a long ways away from that Iowa State end zone. And, thus here we are potentially back on the ground again, doing, not ground and pound, just ground and lay on the ground.
Exactly. Again, it's feeling like a GSP championship fight is what it's feeling like back in the day.
Can Iowa State, though, get this ball? They will. A fair catch by Xavier Worthy at the 9. So here comes the Texas offense.
So they'll hit a commercial here. 10 minutes, 3rd quarter, 6-3 Texas. And catch to the Florida State game. A reminder to everybody, Texas fans, not just the SEC scheduling the November pillows, the ACC has been doing it for years too. It's just a little sneakier. You don't notice it as much because sometimes those teams aren't as effective. But yeah, that's why you schedule the North Alabamas, Catch, because just in case your quarterback gets hurt, you'll still destroy them.
Well, that may end up being the story of the weekend.
Yes.
Is that, we're in a situation where Florida State, they may still make the playoff, but their best player, I think, by the way, Oregon State just scores a touchdown. So
Okay.
they make this a one-possession game.
By the way, Cat,
go ahead.
Cat, look at the super chat with Uncle Mickey telling us what concert he went to. That is a flex concert. Well done. The all-star tribute to the band's last waltz at Massey Hall in Toronto. Well played. Well played. If you're gonna,
we asked the question and he gave us the answer.
That's an answer right there. Well done, Uncle Mickey. Well
Why'd
done.
you leave to come home and watch this mess?
Man, good job. Oh man, what is this?
It says you slacking on recruit videos. I think he's saying I need to make some new commercials.
Well, the thing was, Catch was going to do it, but he was going to do it off of tonight's game. So, he felt like.
No, it's fair. I've been lazy. I will try to not slack off so much. Sorry about that. Too broke to pay attention says in the regular Specs chat. Catch and Chad, this eerily feels like the TCU game from last year, but the script is flipped. Does it seem that way to you? No.
I haven't thought of that game tonight. I haven't thought of that game.
No, it does. I don't know, whether you should feel good or feel bad. Too broke, but it doesn't feel that way.
I guess it probably maybe this is just the feeling of like the offense hasn't scored a touchdown. You did almost have that one had either a defensive or special teams touchdown. This should have had a special teams touchdown. Maybe I don't know. It's just it's just very clearly it's a get out of here with a win kind of game if you can. You just got to try to win the game. Stay clean, stay patient, and let's see if the offense can move the ball a little bit. I mean,
last time they were backed up this deep, Chad, they hit Baxter on a run for about 12. Let's see if they go right back to that. They try.
They go run, yeah.
They don't quite get 12 on first down. They get 3. Baxter's had a solid night with the football. It hasn't been spectacular, but
let's see if there's some aggression here, Catch. They were aggressive at a big moment at Bama. They were aggressive last week in a big moment when they needed it. Let's see where does it go to third down, and then no matter what it is, do they feel aggressive coming off of their 10-yard line here?
Well, you don't want to go 3 and out. You need to get at a minimum here a couple of first downs.
Good run. CJ Baxter, ladies and gentlemen. That's a nice run.
By the way, you're now ahead of me.
Beautiful.
I don't know how that happened. I felt like 30 seconds. Did you fast forward?
I did not fast forward on that one. No. Let me
just happened.
That's weird. When it comes back, I'll let you know what I'm seeing.
It feels like in the middle of this drive, you went 5 seconds in front of me.
CJ Baxter, good run, breaking multiple tackles. I'm at 21, 20, 19 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, you're 2 seconds ahead of me.
2 seconds ahead.
So that just means you can take the lead on the play. Well, don't be spoiling plays on me though. That sucks.
I know you don't enjoy that, so that's why we got to take care. We can't have that happening. 1st and 10 here for Texas. Little pass out to the left side, incomplete.
Not a good throw.
I'm not.
And you know what? That looked like a footwork issue with Ewers. He doesn't really. It's an arm throw and not a step in and arm throw.
Outside of that, what did you think about the play itself? You like that play on 1st and 10?
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
And he catches that ball. Look, he's throwing it to Xavier Worthy.
They had it blocked pretty well, it looked like.
Yeah, he was going to gain something. He was going to get something out of it. How much? Because Worthy had to go to the ground to try to catch it, it was going to be hard to know what he was going to get out of that, but it was going to be positive yardage.
Yeah, here's Ewers.
Hey, he's working it. And look, get the ball into one's hands. I know he's got the big fumble in the red zone, but he's been their best player on offense so far by a mile.
Yeah, Ewers' weight is going to his left, and he just flicks this ball to the right. That had a little That's got that little Mahomes feel to it. Man, it's weird. 2 straight plays. The first one didn't feel good at all. Second one, that's a talent throw right there. Not everybody can make that one.
We got 1st and 10 from the Iowa State 48. Little play action
shot here.
No, he's gonna dump it down.
Swing it out to Blue.
That boy, I tell you what, Quinn. I don't know if he's. So here's the thing, because we're not getting a good look at this, but this goes back now a number of games. You see Quinn look down the field, and then you see him check it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell if he's just not being overly aggressive, or look, they are playing this this flyover, 3 safety defense. By the way, big hard running by CJ Baxter gets Texas a first down. I can't tell should he push it a little bit more down the field? Because again, I don't think this is a 1-game issue. Quinn, I don't want to say he's like a check down king, because there could be like some implied snarkiness there. There's a lot of times when that's like the right throw to make, but he definitely checks down more than he attacks and throwing the football. He's very careful with the ball, and I guess that's more. I think that's probably more positives than negatives on the whole, especially when you're in a 6-3 game. But I would like to see them try to take something vertical, because you're losing what last week you can throw it behind Adonai Mitchell and he'll come back and get it. He's the one guy that really isn't involved in this game right now. They got him across the middle early in the game. Since then, I think he's got 2 catches for 11 yards. Maybe they'll get it to him here, and right on time, although didn't get a great spot. It's going to be set up at 3rd and short.
Well done, Catch. Ask for a bag of money for Orange Bloods Live on this next play.
Well, and look, a little simple pitch and catch. That's really a lot of what Iowa State has been able to do in this game. And look, don't look now. It's kind of an important part of this game. Longhorns are driving. It's 3rd and 1. So, these are the plays where Texas has all season long struggled to convert. But I don't feel like we've watched Texas really run the ball in this game. I don't feel like they've ever had a hard time getting a yard in the running game. So trust CJ Baxter here. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, no, they're going a little RPO action right down the seam. Touchdown. Jordan Whittington, people.
How about that?
Captain Jordan Whittington.
How about that? Now, he didn't think it was going to be like this, but our man Bo Edge during an Outsiders show this week said he thought this could be a Jordan Whittington game. Bo Edge, I'm giving you credit for that comment. I know you didn't want it in a 6-3 game in the 3rd, but nice play to Whittington. Catch. Iowa State was thinking exactly what you were and what I was too. They're going to run because they've been successful. They're going to run. Beautiful play action and a great pass up the seam.
The key on that play may be that Sarkisian is thinking to himself, I can just run the Baxter play on 4th. I've got 2 plays to get 1.
Yeah. I
haven't gone down the field much in this game. Maybe this is the point where we try to go down the field. And it's now your Texas, you're up by 2 scores. Hasn't been impressive. Now, if we're in the UFC fight, now it feels like you got back up on your feet just long enough. Now you've won a round.
You landed a couple punches. You got a round. Yeah. I mean, this is one of those games, Catch, where 10 points feels like 24. A 10-point lead feels like a ton in a game like this. That's why I talked about earlier. Texas defense just couldn't give up much to Iowa State. Maybe you could have lived with a touchdown, but you certainly couldn't give up a couple. Now you have a full 10-point lead, and hopefully the defense. Now let's see if we get the complimentary football and the defense steps up. But credit to that offense, Catch. That's the only drive we've seen all night where they actually hooked plays together. Rhythm.
9 plays, 91 yards, 4 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock. Texas leads now 13-3. That was a grown man drive. First drive of the 3rd quarter for the Longhorns. And they get back. Well, I guess it was their 2nd drive, right? Is it their first or their 2nd drive? Trying to remember. Iowa State got the ball first. Yeah, I think Texas gets the ball. And they go 9 plays. Think about it.
I think it was the first.
Yeah, it was a real mission statement moment for the Longhorns. This is a game they have to win. They've got 1.5 feet in the Big 12 championship game. If they can get through tonight, that moment in the game, I think now allows Texas to play this game for the first time on their terms. Can we see the defense get a 3 and out? Suddenly you get the ball back to Texas. If you can get a turnover or a 3 and out, if you're the Texas defense, get the ball back to Texas. Maybe that's when they take their shot.
Good.
But if you can get to 20 in the next 5 or 6 minutes of game time, again, I'm not going to do that thing. I've sworn I won't say a game is over.
Well, no, you can't, Catch. You can't. I can't. No. For a lot of reasons, you can't and I can't because this team isn't good enough. They're not. They're not even close. We have to challenge them by continuing to remind them to snap the damn neck. That's what they have to do. They have to figure out a way to finish these games. If they're feeling great right now, there's no reason. There's none. Like, they've really got to put some stuff together here.
I think very quietly, this has been an okay performance for Texas. I don't think this should be more than a 13-3 game. It also makes me go back to when it was 3-3 and Iowa State was facing a 4th and 3 and they went for 3. This is a game you're going to need touchdowns in. And now we're at that point. They need 7s. And they haven't been getting 7s from their offense. They've been getting some pennies. I can't even say they've really had an occasional nickel. It feels like I guess they've had a couple of nickels, but boy, they're just 20 yards, 30 yards on a drive, and then it kind of slows down, shuts down. Texas defense always makes a play, and Iowa State stops executing. I do wonder if, because now they're down by double digits, is this the evidence of now they throw on first down and worry less about being balanced? I think that does 2 things. I think it potentially becomes dangerous for the Texas defense because I think that they can be had. But the more Iowa State gets a little one-dimensional and they start throwing it on every play, I think you may see that may be where we finally see the interception, the sack fumble, something like that. So this is a real interesting drive for me because I think will we see Iowa State finally just start passing the ball, which could be a bad thing. They could get rhythm by the end of the third quarter. It's no longer 13-3, it's 13-10. And maybe they're like, oh, this is what we need to be doing all the time. So I'm real curious to see what the Texas defense does on this drive because I do think Iowa State will be making a mistake if they think just keep doing what we're doing. Run, pass, punt. Like, that's not going to be good enough the rest of the night.
Super chats are in. Barb's the $4.99. Quero's Jordan Effin Whittington. Put some respect on his name.
Hey, gobble.
A gobbler checking in tonight. How about a $1.99 super chat from He's Going to the Corner? Switch beers before that drive. Not superstitious. Hey, whatever works.
Start drinking more and start drinking that one.
Whatever works. Our man Oscar checking in. What a call, Sark. Turns out this offense can do all right when the players execute. Sark dials it up, baby. Absolutely, Oscar. Got to stay aggressive. And a reminder, somebody chats in, this is where the defense will look like they have no clue what to do. Michael, I understand why you'd have that feeling, and I think it's probably a warning to everybody. I don't think that, I don't think that's unfair. $1.99 super chat from James. Was my last super chat answered? That IPA. I'm not sure what it was. Yes, it was. Blake says it was. And super chat $4.99 from Paul. Don't you effing dare, Catch. Don't you effing dare.
Ball game.
First play's a run, and Anthony Hill and company stop it for Texas. That was a first down run, Catch, from Iowa State. They have not learned the lesson you're talking about.
It's who they on some level. It's who they want to be, but right now, who they want to be isn't good enough.
Well, they're just not designed to chase, and you got to have a plan, though, don't you? Don't you have to have an idea for, hey guys, if we're ever down 10 or 14, we got to be able to chunk it around.
Maybe this is a trust issue. That the thing is, like now here they go.
Yep, nice pass.
They're, when they throw the ball, they're getting what they want, and Texas will give that up all night long. Like that's what the Kwiatkowski defense. You're gonna play your secondary back. You give a cushion. You're gonna give this underneath stuff up, and Texas is gonna gamble that you can't do that 10 times without a play that occurs to offset. And look, tonight that's been the run game. Maybe they know. Look, give up this nickel and dime stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually, Iowa State's going to try to run the ball, and that is not going to work.
Good tackle by Malik Muhammad on that play. Big third down, 3rd and 2 here.
And look, they're working the middle of it's there all night, Chad.
Slant first down. Yep. Got run underneath Taff and a couple other guys in the little zone there, and
they're
first
running
down Iowa
up
State.
tempo now.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's see if they can get a little rhythm like Texas did on the last drive.
Are they going to run the ball though? You know, they're going to pass it. They're actually taking a shot.
Now that is a great play call. Great pass, great catch, and use the play action there on 1st and 10. That's not bad. And a different kind of pass play there, catch. Instead of going with the slant, they go with a little kind of not really a slant and go, but just a little hitch and go on the outside.
Ooh, and Ryan Watts won't be happy with how he'll go. Now they run the ball and they lose a yard.
Yep. They're going to try it, man.
That either one of us could be an offensive coordinator at this level, but it's ridiculous that at this point we can just make fun of what they're doing.
199 from Oscar. Marg's hitting. I'm close to asking Chad to shotgun. Come on, Oscar. Don't get that close. Don't get that close. Glad you're having a good night, though. Let's hope Texas keeps this going. Rushing yards 76-7. Boy, this has been a gem, hasn't it?
Oh, Iowa State's close to field goal position. I think that's all they really care about.
Hey, 1-score game if they can get it. Little slant inside on 18. It may be more than that if they don't tackle somebody down inside the 15. There it is again, catch cutting route.
What did I say before this drive started? The thing that might work against Texas and scoring the touchdown and pushing it to 10 is that Iowa State may feel like we've seen them go a little more up-tempo in this drive than we have for most of the game. You know, they're being forced. Let's see if they run the ball here, thus putting themselves in a 2nd and long, thus putting themselves in a position where they have to pass. I don't know. Like maybe he's playing chess and we're playing checkers.
Might be.
Like, if I run it on 1st down.
Play action, throwback, great play. That's a touchdown for Iowa State. That is a great play call. The play action, throwback on a wheel route. Was that to the running back?
Yes.
Good grief. See, that's the kind of play call Iowa State might need to be thinking of before that. And it's going to get them right back in this thing. Texas fans, get your nerve medicine, get your blood pressure medicine back up. Find your whiskeys and find your beers. You're going to need them.
Tell you what, credit where credit's due. We're making fun of the Iowa State offensive coordinator. That's a really nice play call. It was a really nice throw. Really nice job by the running back. Texas now. We got a blocked extra point.
Extra point. Gonna return it.
It's scooping and scoring.
It's a 2-for-1. It's going to be a 2-for-1.
Scoring all the way to the end zone and slides in. He's going to do a snow angel.
Block it, record it. Catch turns into Bill Cosby, so I will too. Catch. They return the block for the 2-point conversion. I think that is Mr. Jordan.
It was like a Jell-O pudding pop there in the end zone.
It was like a Jell-O. Who was that? 50. Who was that blocked that?
Andre Sweat.
No, you're right. My bad. I was seeing a 5 and it was a 9. Big T Sweat. Matt Campbell looks like he wants to pee himself.
It's officially 15-9 ball game.
15-9. That's 2 field goals.
Kind of Bill Cosby, kind of Sheriff T. Buford T. Justice there.
Oh my!
It's like a mix of the two.
That is crazy. You don't see that often. You don't see the block often, but you really don't see the return. Austin Jordan,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. Austin Jordan, sophomore out of Denton, kids, if you don't know, takes it the distance. So wild swing there. It was about to be, what, a 3-point game?
Yeah, so it's about to be a 13-10 game, and now it's a 15-9 game.
Weird. Texas was about to be up a field goal. Now they're up 2 field goals off of that exchange. So Iowa State gets a bit of momentum, but then obviously it gives a little bit of it back. Now we need to see some complimentary football with this offense, Catch, because the defense did not do their part. They gave up too much, gave up a touchdown. Offense has got to wake up right now.
William D says, this is why I cringe when people talk about the playoffs. Can you see the Texas pass defense trying to keep up with Marvin Harrison Jr. or Brock Bowers? Yeah, I can actually. I mean, yeah.
Slaughtered. Yeah, you're right. You're right, William. And that's why right now, for the last few weeks, I've been talking about it. Don't focus on that word. Focus on Jerry World. Focus on the Big 12. That's where you need to be focused.
And right now, on that task that you're talking about, it's Texas is on its way to a successful night because Kansas State, I think a scary-ish team given the way that game went in Austin just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, Kansas taking a knee.
Is that right?
I'm sorry, Kansas State is taking a knee. They're finishing off Kansas.
Dude, you just threw the swerve. I hope there's no Kansas State fans watching the watch along right now.
You did it on a field goal earlier.
Come on.
I got colors confused, and ultimately the wrong team was winning. Kansas State, though, beats Kansas 31-27. So everybody at the top of the Big 12 to this weekend wins. At least the second place. Shut up. At least the second place teams.
Kansas fans are like, rock chalk, we win.
They knew.
Fuck you.
They knew.
Yeah.
By the way, Longhorns almost. There was a taste for a second, like a glimmer that we were going to have a big return there from Keelan Robinson. James McDaniel says, distraction, ScarJo or Jennifer Lawrence?
Ooh, I like that one. ScarJo. I'm in a ScarJo mood tonight.
You might be right, but you know what? I'm in a Jennifer Lawrence kind of mood.
I'm more of a Marvel than a Hunger Games guy, too. Not a Hunger Games guy. Love the Marvel. Going to go ScarJo.
Well, we talked about this yesterday. J-Law will, at least you'll be a good time and will make you want to laugh.
Oh, it should be an incredible time. I'm just thinking of ScarJo right now, and he's just not that into you, and I'm going ScarJo.
Again, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that now that I know that she filmed that scene naked and like let it all hang out and flop around in the wind, J-Law's got some street cred with me.
I told you. You thought she was half-assing that, dude. That was all her on the beach.
She was committed to that scene.
She was. It's such a wacky, funny scene. I love
it. It also means that she's just really free in her nakedness.
Yep. Love it.
Like, ScarJo, although ScarJo did the scene earlier this year in Asteroid City where she got topless.
See, there you go. There's no wrong answer. There's a pass knocked away. Texas trying to hit Worthy there for what would have been a first down, but instead Iowa State knocks it away, and here we go, Catch. 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. This is the
not
offense.
3rd and 10.
Yeah, that ball needed to be in a different spot. That's a tough throw, Catch. He's rolling to his left, trying to get it to Worthy in the right spot. Oh, Worthy almost comes down with it.
Would have been a great catch if Worthy could have pulled it in.
Yeah, it would have. This is a huge play right here.
3rd and 9. Let's see. And no DJ Campbell, for those of you wondering, after that early injury, he's now out of the game.
5 wides.
Getting some Cole Hudson action right down the seam.
Oh, right down a seam and missed it. Good play by
I almost think if he could bring that in and hold his feet, he's gone. It's not what happened.
It's a good play by Iowa State.
And really, who did they target there?
That
was Mitchell. Okay.
Goal from Mitchell.
Oh, it's just a nice play by the defender.
Yeah, it's a really nice play.
Ultimately, the ball never gets to Mitchell. Williams, number 31, knocks it down. So we're going to get Texas with a 3-and-out right back to unless they run a fake punt here, which you never know. They're not. They're going to punt it away. Ryan Sanborn with a short kick. It's bouncing. It hits an Iowa State player, but he quickly jumps. Tell you what, that was a lucky bounce, a smart play, and a good recovery, all in about a second there.
Yeah. By the way, Jontez Williams is a freshman from Florida on this Iowa State team. That's a hell of a play across the middle. And now, again, bad complimentary football for Texas. Defense gives up a touchdown. Special teams stepped up a little bit, gave you a little bit of a breath of air with that free 2 points. And now the offense comes right out and gives you a clunky 3-and-out. And you miss one. You miss a throw on second down. You miss the third down play because the guy knocks a ball away. Texas defense really needing to step up right here. And back to your question, Catch. What do you run if you're Iowa State here?
I know what I'm not doing.
Yeah. If you're going to
I'm just not. If Tavondre Sweat is on the field, and he's not, so maybe this is where you start to get cocky.
Right.
Hey, Vernon Broughton's playing. Maybe now we run the ball. Nope. They're coming out
first
down.
Across the middle. Ball's picked. Great play.
You mentioned that guy's name earlier, Chad.
How about 28 tonight? Great play. Jaron Thompson
playing a very solid game tonight.
My man's got a dirty jersey for all the right reasons.
He's playing center field for the Longhorns here, and he just does a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes. It's just a great play by Jaron Thompson. All he does is read the quarterback the entire way, and Rocco Beck never sees him. He's just never got his eyes on Thompson in that entire play.
Who's got a defense that sets traps now, huh? Who's got a defense that sets back and then kills you, huh?
Well, and so now, come on, Texas. Now we got CJ Baxter, big first down run.
Yeah, now it feels like there's a big weight shifted over towards Iowa State. Texas got some rhythm here.
They've certainly got them on the ropes. It's about, do you let them off the ropes on this drive? By the way, JT Sanders back in the game for all of you with Prize Picks needing 2 more yards. Boy, I thought that might have been a rest of the season injury.
Nice play to Mitchell.
Texas has Iowa State off balance. That may be the last play of the third quarter.
I think it is. Mitchell might be a little banged up there. He's holding his back, but yeah, I think they're going to take the time, and Sark's throwing up a 4 here, although they just stopped the clock for some reason. Oh, injured Iowa State player with 13 seconds to go. Yeah, let's see if Texas can keep this momentum going, because those 2 points Texas acquired, that little swing of getting 2, preventing the 1, 6 to turn to 13 here would be massive. It would be so huge if Texas could get this thing into a 13-point situation. That would be unbelievable if they could make 22-9 out of this.
Hey, even a field goal, though, makes this a 2-score game, and that's, you'll trade jabs with Iowa State going into the fourth quarter. You've got the higher ground. So find a way to get points on this drive by any means necessary. If you're Sark, 3 points has a lot of value here. Let's just say it in advance, because we're nowhere near like the point in the drive where we have to make a decision. It's going to be first when we come back from timeout and start the fourth quarter. It's 1st and 10 to Iowa State 44. However, if this ball gets inside, say like the 20-yard line, and it's 4th and 2 at the 22, take the points. Take the points. If it's 4th and 2 from the 13, take the points. Take the 3 points. If it's 4th and goal at the 3-yard line, take the 3 points.
Why is that?
A 9-point lead here is really, really valuable.
Why would a 9-point lead matter, though? Why is that important?
Well, because they got to score twice.
Oh, twice? Like they'd have to go up and down the field twice.
Yeah, okay. There's no 9-point touchdown.
That's
So
interesting.
at that point, you're still, again, you're just trading jabs. By the way, Oregon State driving in this Washington game, down 22-17. They're looking at a 3rd and 12. I think there was a bad injury in that game that stopped it for a little bit.
Okay.
An Oregon State player got hurt. We'll see what they do on 3rd down while the Longhorns are going to the 4th quarter. Some stats. Ewers, better 3rd quarter. He's 18 of 28 for 233, touchdown, no turnovers, a 146 rating. It's okay. Worthy's got 4 for 77. Whittington, 3 for 50. He's the star of the game right now. 3 for 56 and a touchdown. It's the Jordan Whittington senior night where he's a captain and he has the touchdown so far on offense. Mitchell, 3 for 32. Sanders still at 2 for 32. They've moved the ball. Actually, the passing game's not been great, Chad, but they have spread it around fairly evenly amongst their big boys. So at least, and I think Sanders would actually be having a bigger night had he not got hurt early in this game. Baxter's 11 for 84. So those of you that played the 80.5 number in the not the super chat. Excuse me. Oregon State kicks a field goal, by the way, 22-20. Washington, 4th quarter. See if Michael Penix Jr. has a Heisman moment in this game or whether or not Oregon State can get the ball back and really put some pressure on Washington.
Real quick catch, something else to watch in that game. Uiagalelei just got up with a thumb injury. He banged his hand when he went to the ground. It looked like his thumb kind of went out of socket and he was like pulling it back in and flexing it and stuff as he walked off the field. That's something to watch in that game too.
Speaking of wheel routes, touchdown, Gunnar Helm. I don't want to say the game is over, but
please don't.
Have the Longhorns applied some pressure on Iowa State early in this 4th quarter. First play of the drive, first play of the 4th quarter, 31-yard touchdown pass from Quinn Ewers to Gunnar Helm. I can't even speak. I'm so excited for Gunnar Helm. 3 plays, 57 yards, a minute. Right after the turnover, Chad, the Longhorns may have put the clamp down, put the hammer down on these Iowa State Cyclones.
Tell me if you agree. I think they're about to go for 2 here. Tell me if you agree with this theory here. You like this 12 to go 14?
Yeah.
They're going for 2.
Yeah, it's the right call.
All right.
You get into the 4th quarter, you're not chasing points. Oh, that's nice. Nice little end around to Jordan Whittington.
There it is. Little misdirection, inside handoff to Whittington. They get the 2 points. It's 23-9. You know what those last 2 plays felt like to me, Catch? Sark.
Yeah.
Those were Steve Sarkisian plays. In a game, you're banged up. You didn't have something you wanted coming in. You lost stuff you wanted while the game's going on. Be a freaking play caller. Be creative. Do what you do. Little throwback. This is where they say to Iowa State, screw your throwback. We've got one to our tight end, and we got a 2-point conversion play ready to go. That felt aggressive. Texas fans, that's all gas, no brakes right there. That sequence is all gas, no brakes. We're Texas, you're Iowa State. Fuck you. That's what that is.
I love the design of that play to Gunnar Helm. They drag him behind the line of scrimmage, and then essentially he runs what looks like what would be a wheel route if he'd been a running back. He just runs he turns the corner and he's wide open. It's beautifully designed because if you're a linebacker in that situation, your eyes are telling you it's okay. Let him go.
Yep.
And in the end, nobody's with him, and it was a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah, make his first target of the night that play. It's brilliant. They didn't expect it. He could have had his wife running that route, and Iowa State would have covered her more than they just covered Helm. Like, that's beautiful football right there. And also I don't know if coaches think about this stuff, Catch, but he essentially just scored the touchdown the way they did on a throwback wheel. And I wonder if there's a little bit of pride to that. Like, oh, I got one too.
Well, now we're in this spot where Iowa State, now they know they know what they got to do. But it just like with the play in the last drive where Jaron Thompson gets the interception, if you're Texas, you want to force them into these situations. Iowa State's going to come out and try to get a little something going in the run game. They don't want to completely commit to pass. However, they're going to have to be a pass team.
Mm-hmm.
And if Texas can time the pass rush, if they, this is where a pick six makes this a blowout. And tomorrow morning when we're looking, a pick six here makes this the best Texas performance since the month of September. So it's funny how fine the line can be between if Iowa State scores a touchdown here on this drive and makes it a one-score game again, suddenly maybe the fourth quarter gets a bit hairy. But Texas is playing. Remember, this starts out 6-3. So they've done a really good job of coming out 17-6 so far in the second half. But they're really, I think, imposing their will a little on Iowa State here. It's a big third down for Iowa State. It's 3rd and 2. They really need a conversion. I think they got to throw the ball here. But if you're Texas, you really are on the verge of having them exactly where, boy, I don't think he got it. Who the hell made that tackle? That was really nice.
Was that Broughton? No. Ford?
That was your All-American. That was at
Ford.
least last year's All-American. Maybe this year's All Big 12. Jalen Ford. So they got to go for it here on 4th down, I think. It's 4th in inches, depending on where the spot is. I thought he was a little bit short.
Yeah, and right now we are in the middle of some badass complimentary football from Texas. Give credit to the special teams, Catch. They started this. Special teams started it with that block.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
They just did to Texas what Texas did to them.
Wow. Play action to the tight end, straight up the seam, and Texas lost him for a touchdown. And just as I started talking about complimentary football, the Texas defense puked on their shoes. My bad,
By the way,
Texas
complimentary. Steven says Chad's way to be neutral, somewhat positive tonight towards Texas as an Aggie fan is professionalism at its finest.
Steven, I appreciate you.
Dude, I thought that was about to be disaster, Chad. I thought they were literally going to run that ball into the teeth of the Texas defense, and Texas was about to be all over that. And the next thing I know, we're looking at the Tebow. He's kind of just a little hop up into the air and throwing it to the tight end, and it was
and now
wide open.
Yeah, and now we just went through it, Catch. We've been through this. If there's one thing you and I and all the Texas fans and the watch-along should know how to do, shout out to over 360 folks right now in the Specs chat. We should all know how to reset when we thought things were going well for Texas and then things get a little crazy because we've had to do it way too much lately. We all have to dial back in. All you guys drinking Eagle Rare tonight, go refill. We're refilling Eagle Rare right now.
That's right.
Texas it's a one-score game again.
Tom G says, if I call the game over, he will call the HOA on me.
You can't do it. You can't do it. This team won't allow. That's why I shouldn't have even opened my mouth, started talking about complimentary football. It felt like they had a little rhythm, and then they give up that garbage. Oh, my God.
I don't even know who Roscoe Beck is, Argonath. Do you know who that is?
Roscoe Beck? Is that like a combo of the quarterback of Iowa State and Andrew Beck?
I don't know who that is.
He's no Roscoe Beck? I don't know who Roscoe Beck is. We're sorry, Argonath.
He's going to tell us, though.
But Roscoe Beck, American bassist for Eric Johnson, Leonard Cohen, and the Dixie Chicks.
Whoa. Okay. We're at a musical snob level that I think is even past where Ketch and I are.
Why am I the jinx? Wait, hold on. What did I do?
Catch is the jinx. Eric.
I literally was saying what did I say right when that drive was starting? We're at a real interesting point in the game.
Yeah.
Seems like Texas has momentum. If they could have gotten a stop.
If. To be
We'd
fair,
be talking about this being one of the best performances September. However, I acknowledged we're one play away from it being a one-score game again. That was the balance.
Right.
that we were looking at there.
You know what Catch didn't say? Chad, I think Texas is doing a great job covering Iowa State's tight ends. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. So don't. That wasn't Catch. Catch didn't do it. Pete got schooled. Yeah, he did. That was bad play. Dude, I'm telling you what, Catch. In this last sequence, think about it. At one point, it was no score, 3-all, 6-3, and we're making fun of this game offensively. All of a sudden, the offensive play callers in this game are pulling out the stops. They're coming up with some badass. Where the hell was this crap in the first quarter?
I don't know. The play calling so far, you're right. Both teams all of a sudden pulling out some plays. And look, the bottom line is it's now a 23-16 game. Could have been a 21-18 game, or I guess 21-17. You think back to the block PAT, that was a 3-point swing. In a 7-point game, it feels pretty big right now.
Yeah, no, I get you a little +1 you didn't know. Didn't know you were going to have like a +1 in that sequence. And you end up, instead of being up 3, you're up 6. Boy, what a great play call that was. That's silly. That is silly gutsy right there. Both teams have done it now. Both teams have come up with really nice play calls in big moments, big tension moments. Now let's see how this Texas offense responds.
Well, they're going right back to what they feel best about in this offense, and that's Gunnar Helm.
How dare you? How dare you?
That's literally what they did.
Yeah, that's good call. And it got him 9 yards. I can't say much. A little play action rollout to Gunnar Helm. It is interesting.
Interesting stat.
Now after that touchdown, Iowa State starts looking for him. Texas is like, yeah, man, that's one of our studs right now. There's a run to Baxter.
Moves the chains.
Good position for Texas to be in, Catch, in terms of just obviously being the team that is up the touchdown. You've got the option to run the ball. Baxter's still churning it up. What's his average here? Is he's still between 5 and 6 probably?
Oh yeah, no, I'll give you back. That might have actually, he's got to be close to 100 now. Baxter is 12 of 90. So 12 for 90 at 7.5 a pop.
All right. We're going to see if he's really Sark's guy, because we know Brooks wouldn't have gotten that 100. We'll see if Baxter does.
Oh, he's wide open.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
pass interference. What a horribly thrown ball by Quinn Ewers.
Quinn.
Huh. And that would have put Mitchell over the top in Prize Picks. I care a whole lot about that. The defender's got to be frustrated because the ball is so poorly thrown that it caused them to commit pass interference.
Catch, I'm not trying to be too technical here, but how much contact was there really? Is that PI for you? Like, I know it all kind of
2023 probably.
Boy, that was
to the replay. He doesn't look back for the ball. It's close. It's not a lot of contact.
There wasn't a ton of contact there, but he's got to feel weird because he's got to be getting up to full speed because he knows he's been beaten, and then he just feels like he's running into a brick wall.
He's thinking to himself, "Oh crap, this is about to be a touchdown."
Yeah.
As he's trying to make a play, there's no way he can be thinking to himself, "This is going to be a horribly thrown ball, and I'm going to get screwed in a way that I'm not fully expecting."
Man, Catch, they have got to work with Quinn on the footwork, the rhythm, and the pace of those plays. That throw cannot be missed by that much.
Well, and an NFL quarterback sticks that throw, and that may be why all week long we've talked about Quinn Ewers coming back for a junior season.
Yeah, you got to dial that up better. Absolutely.
That really was a hideous throw.
2nd and 5 after a good run on first down. Oh, and here you go. Here comes a administrative penalty for Texas, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and 10 now.
What do you call? Wait, what is that? I've never seen that signal in my life. Oh, he just called a timeout. I was like, what is that?
I guess no penalty. Call a flag. I guess it's a timeout.
No penalty, just timeout. Okay, I swear I thought there was a flag on that play. Didn't you see a flag get thrown?
I thought there was, yeah, but maybe that's one of those. They throw the flag, but then they say the timeout came before the flag.
By the way, updating everybody on this game where you are rooting for Beavers, Texas fans. 22-20 Washington. 6.5 to go. Oregon State's got the ball coming out of their own end with Uyunglele still at quarterback. Looks like that thumb's okay. So they're out around the 20-yard line. That's been a hell of a game, Catch. Looks like the rain has let up or stopped. It was pouring the whole first half, but it looks like it finally stopped in Corvallis. So they're going to get a fairly normal end to this game. Texas fans, you at least have the thought of what you want right now with 6 minutes to go. Oregon State with the ball with a chance to take the lead.
Washington completely suffocated offensively here in the second half, now holding on for dear life. You're not quite there if you're the Longhorns. You're in a little bit better shape than that. Really nice play defensively there by the Washington DB. 5:54 to go in that game. Washington still up 22-20, as Chad just said. There's really no other game to keep an eye on, is there?
Yeah, no, because obviously everything that's above Texas, Georgia ends up winning big. Bama wins big against the pillow.
Missouri's up over Florida, although Florida driving with 4:44 in the fourth quarter. They've got the ball at their own 38, a chance to beat top 10 Missouri with
Gators,
with the nation not even really paying attention.
Chomp, chomp.
LSU is up big over Georgia State, as you would expect. Jaden Daniels still in. He just literally scored a touchdown to make it 49-14 LSU over Georgia State. And that's it for college football top 25 tonight. The only remaining games, the two SEC games I just mentioned, the Pac-12 game between Washington and Oregon State, and this Texas and Iowa State. So the whole nation right now is watching Oregon State and Washington.
No
All
doubt.
eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. And it's been a really good game, fun to watch. Washington Catch feels like they probably don't get enough credit for being able to win close games. They won that ugly clunker early on. They won the crazy one in Oregon. Everybody tried to give the Ducks more credit for that loss sometimes than they were giving Washington for the win. Washington's a gritty-ass football team, man. If they get this win tonight, I don't care if it's 22-20, I'll give them credit for it.
You're jinxing you may potentially be jinxing Washington without even knowing it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Close ball games while they're in the middle of a close ball game.
Yeah, you see what I'm doing?
I do. I see you working, Mr. Hastings.
Working for you, Texas fans. Do you see me working for you? Come on.
By the way, Longhorns 3rd and 1. CJ Baxter is averaging 7 yards a carry. When this is Jonathan Brooks, this is where I say, give the ball to 24, give the ball to 24. This is a give the ball to 4 moment in the ball game.
Got to keep the
ball. First down, block well. It's an inside handoff to Baxter. He picks up 4. Move the chains.
Nice.
Didn't need to do anything sexy there. You pick up the first down. It's good football play calling there by Steve Sarkisian.
By the way, Catch, quick old man comment. They just showed Jonathan Brooks on the sideline, and he's rocking the Mr. T starter kit. Rule number 1, if I'm a head coach, if you're on my sideline and you're standing there watching the game, you're dressed out or whatever, no jewelry. Certainly not at that level. We're not wearing tons and tons of chains during the game. What the hell are you doing?
Hey, by the way, Catch,
still running the football.
502 bad gateway.
Tough running.
The Orange Bloods message board is officially down at the moment. We have people flooding the chat here because they can't get to the game day thread on the message board.
Uh-oh. All right. Catch, you need to check on that?
Well, I mean, there's nothing that I can do. I'll send an email to management of Rivals.
Come on now.
Make sure that they know.
Hey, aren't they prepared, Catch? Every year we know the Iowa State game could crash the website. Don't you know that?
It's the Washington-Oregon State game that's crashed the network.
Oh, okay. Washington-Oregon State.
Pac-12 football.
I got you. Little Pac-12 after dark is freaking them out. 2nd and 6 here, or excuse me, 2nd and 8 for Texas. Nice pass. Out into the flat. Why do I not know who that person? It's Cedric Baxter. Why do I not know who number 4 is? That makes no sense.
CJ Baxter getting some work as a receiver. We talked about. Yeah. This is part of what he needs to be able to replace. Man. I'll keep you guys updated on when Orange Bloods is back into action. Just what I needed on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
at 9:54 at night. How the hell does that happen on a Saturday night? Come on, Rivals.
Yeah, nice little route there by Baxter too, catch. Almost like a little whip route, like a stop whip route out to the side. That was nice.
I have sent the email to the head of Rivals, letting him know that the message boards are down. Jesus Christ.
Good grief.
Because our engineers are just waiting on a Saturday night in November for the boards to crash.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to text the head of Rivals.
There you go. You do that. I'll let them know what's going on in this game. 23-16 Texas. We're under 8 minutes with this next snap. 2nd and 9 after that last play. Just a little run that went nowhere on the last play for Texas. Just a little bit of a game. Here's a little swing pass to Baxter and a nice tackle by Iowa State. Loss of yards. Another 3rd and long coming for Texas. There's a big sequence coming here with 7:20 to go and counting. Texas just ran kind of just sort of an ugly little play here. They're trying to get a little too much out of C.J. Baxter. Maybe they didn't block it well. Somebody might have missed a block. But just a good tackle from Iowa State. So now you're staring at 3rd and 13. Whew.
Text message has been sent, by the way.
All right.
I like that little pitch out to Blue. What it does, that play gets you, I think, comfortably in field goal range here on 4th down.
Yeah, and this is a spot here. I mean, I know it's Steve Sarkisian, but you get a 10-point lead here, right, Catch?
Yeah, this is a no-doubter.
Okay.
Your kickers made a couple of field goals already tonight, one from 50, one from 39. It's 4th and 6th. This is – and you know what? He's been so good tonight. So not only do I think he makes this, I think this is right down Broad Street.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's a definitive statement.
42-yard kick.
Come on,
right down
Bert
Main
Auburn.
Street.
Bert Auburn. Where'd I go?
He might be the MVP of this game. Makes it a 2-score lead with 6:14 and change to go. You got to feel real good if you're Texas about finishing this game. Meanwhile, speaking of finishing the game, over in that Pac-12 game,
yes.
did we just get a turnover there? What happens?
I see an overthrow from Oregon State. I see some excitement, so it might have been a 4th down opportunity.
Play?
Yeah, it must have been. Must
have been 4th down. It's late in that game.
It was an overthrow on 4th down catch. Oregon State felt like they had to go for it. There's 2 minutes to go. They have 2 timeouts left, but now they're going to have a tough time getting the ball back. Penix is out beyond midfield here. Washington just trying to run the clock out. So they're going to force Oregon State to take a couple timeouts here.
But they've got the ball already across midfield. Not that scoring points here matters a ton, but even if Oregon State can use their timeouts, get the ball back, there may only be a little bit more than a minute, and they may have to go the length of the field and they only have to get 3. They don't have to get a touchdown. So Washington is in a position where a 1st down from their Heisman contending quarterback ends the ball game.
Yeah, and they've pointed out all night, Washington with a win tonight does clinch the Pac-12 championship game if they get a win in this one. So 2:03 to go. 2nd timeout taken from Oregon State. You would assume Washington will run again and make Oregon State take another timeout. And again, it's 22-20. But as Catch pointed out, Washington's not in field goal range yet, but they are across midfield.
I'm also sending an email to the head of engineering at Rivals. Guys, I'm working on it. Don't think that I'm not sensitive to the fact that the freaking message boards are down. Not exactly the thing I want to deal with on a Saturday night.
All right, Joey, Super Chat $4.99, letting us know that now Eagle Rare is the Longhorns official whiskey. Shout out to you, Joey. I got a buddy. My man Sacamano loves that Eagle Rare. I know you guys love some Eagle Rare. It has now become a necessity in these crazy close Texas games. So drink your Eagle Rare responsibly tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me see. I'm just going to check and see if these message board errors are occurring all over the network or if it's just an Orange Bloods deal. Let's see. No, looks like the message boards on other sites is working. So whatever happened, looks like we're talking about an orange blood specific situation. So maybe we did just crash the message boards, Chad.
Wow. Wait, you
Texas
say
and Iowa State couldn't stand the pressure.
It's such an incredible game. Yeah, that's what it was. By the way, 3rd and 3 for Washington, 1:58 to go. This is pretty much the ball game in that one. Penix, a throw, first down. That's going to do it. 1:52 to go. Michael Penix does the bow and arrow celebration. Looks like Washington now gets to go victory formation with a tough 22-20 victory. Iowa State in this game back at it. Pass complete up to the 35 to the 40 with a first down. Texas misses a tackle out there on the right-hand side to start this drive. And Iowa State's learning their lesson. They're down 10, and they threw it on first down. Why? Because that's what they've done all night successfully. Iowa State's been terrible running the ball, but that Texas pass defense came in 106 in the country, and I don't think they've improved their number very much tonight.
Iowa State still trying to run the ball with less than 6 minutes to go. Still not having any success.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I know you can't just throw it every single time, but they have so much more success when they're throwing the ball. T'Vondre Sweat's had a hell of a night. He is the guy, by the way, that blocked that extra point. Not to say it wouldn't have happened otherwise, that a comeback or that the push wouldn't have happened, but man, that got things started. Here's Iowa State, little swing pass out to the right on 2nd and 8. Texas did a good job of containing. Anthony Hill, this just in, 0 can play. Good tackle on the outside. Hill and Ford both in on that tackle, but I would give Hill a lot more of it. That was a good tackle. Texas players tonight, making some good open field tackles. 1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, some gang tackling, but good solid tackling from Texas tonight. 3rd and 3, big play for Iowa State at midfield. So you got to think with 4.5 to go, they're probably going for it here if they need to. 3rd and 3, roll out to the right. Pass is complete. Pass is complete. Receiver found a little gap there, kind of a crossing route there to Bramer. Gets Iowa State the first down. So the drive continues. That wasn't a bad
Sorry,
play.
Chad, I was trying to call one of my engineers.
Oh, I got you. You do what you need to do. For those orange bloods.
Multitasking.
Oh, you do it. You're one of the best at it. So you're the perfect guy to deal with this situation. I know you don't want to, but I know you will.
The problem is when the message boards crash on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's like I might have to be like people might be at the movies or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Illegal formation from Iowa State there. Not enough guys up on the line. Just a little formality deal is going to bring that play back. So that's good news for Texas. 3rd and 8 created off of it. So Iowa State still has to convert here. And they're going 3 wides on one side here. Little 3-by-1 to the left on 3rd and 8. Becht is in trouble, and he's been sacked. And I think Byron Murphy just did that with one arm. Wow. You deserve that celebration, young man. I think he's being dealt with. 3/4 of his body was being handled by an offensive lineman, and he snuck an arm around and sacked the quarterback with it. He's being held, kind of. That's a little bit of a snag. Nice job by Byron Murphy. He gives the double blow the kiss to the crowd there. He deserved every bit of it. 4th and 17, and Iowa State has to go for it. Here's Texas's chance to really close the door.
And immediate pressure, good defense. Guys, don't hate me for saying this.
Say it,
Ball
kid.
game. Ball game.
There it is.
Longhorns take over with 3:20 to go in the game. Up 10. Iowa State turns the ball over on downs. Very professional, solid performance from this Texas Longhorns football team today. They're not going to win any national voters over tonight, right? Like,
Nope.
They won't a lot of style points credit, but that's a really good second half performance for the Longhorns. In the end, they're going to run this clock out, Chad, or get close to it. But the Longhorns are going to get out of Ames tonight with a W, barring the biggest meltdown in Steve Sarkisian's coaching career.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of they've got good field position. They're going to be taking over. Hold on, where's the ball at? Let me look at the stat page real quick. I forgot where that ball was snapped. So Texas has the ball 1st and 10. Iowa State 47.
Yeah, just across mid.
Iowa State has 3 timeouts, but Texas is in complete control of this game.
Yeah, no doubt. And think about the contrast from last week. Last week we saw them give up it was a 20-3 run, correct? Against TCU?
Yes.
Won it 20-3. So in this one, it was 6-3 at one point. And now you're talking about 26-16. You just closed out that drive, get the ball back with a full 10-point lead. That's pretty big. So everybody can do that math on what they did. But this is where if I'm a fan catch, I think most of the fans on the chat can agree. This one feels a lot better. This one feels more substantive than what we saw last week. Because you're getting a 2-score, you have a 2-score lead right now with a chance to just close it out. But right now, it feels like a lot more substance to this team. You said it. Not a beautiful win, but man, you go to Ames, Iowa, and get stuff done. This is that time of year where sometimes you just got to win the game. HYB, handle your business. Texas is doing it right now. It will put them, if they can close this door, it would put them 1 win away from Jerry World. They had a weird shot to get it today, but the other teams wouldn't help them out. Texas is going to have to maybe do it on their own. Beat Texas Tech on Black Friday night, and it gets them to Jerry World if they can close the door here in about 3 minutes.
Just, what's interesting, I think, among other things, is, boy, the national picture nothing changes. It's been a very calm month of November, not just in the Big 12, where Texas has, I think, asserted its control over the first place spot in the Big 12 there. They've got 1.5 feet in. I mean, there's a world out there where they can lose to Texas Tech next week and still make the Big. If you think about it like this, they're now going to have a win over Iowa State. So Iowa State's gone. They were tied for second in that cluster of teams. Now it's Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Kansas State. Oklahoma State has wins over both of those 2 teams. If they win, they're in. If Texas wins, they're in. So it's really as simple as that. If Texas loses, they then fall into a spot where, let's say, all of those teams win next week. The Longhorns would have wins over 2 out of 3 of those 2 teams. Kansas State probably, I think, would be the team in trouble because they lost to Iowa State and Texas. Well, they're gone.
Well,
no, they won. They won, but they're in a problem where they need Oklahoma State to lose.
I was going to say, and remember, Texas would have only beaten one of those teams. Texas didn't play Oklahoma State.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not quite sure how that would work.
If
they lose, there's a way they could obviously be left out because otherwise a win tonight would clinch for them.
Remember, the way to get Texas out would be Bedlam. Just think Bedlam. If they're tied with those 2 teams only, then they're out, like we talked about. If they're tied with any other combination, I think they're good. But we'll double check that during the week. I think they're calling it.
We'll probably have that there will be the Big 12 will have answers on that officially before the end of the night's over.
Trust me, I will not trust the Big 12. I'll get you answers on that next week. We'll figure that out. Matt Campbell just screamed "fuck you" at the officials because they called a hands to the face penalty.
By the way, Orange Bloods is back up. So we had a 19-minute F up, but the game's not over. Get on back to Orange Bloods. The message boards are working.
Opa!
Hey, I'll take it.
Beautiful. Get what you get. Beautiful. All right, second timeout for Iowa State after that last play. Matt Campbell's still pissed. I honestly did not see the call on hands to the face to see if it was legit, but it does help Texas out.
By the way, Florida is up 31-30 on Missouri.
Come
8
on.
seconds to go in the game. Missouri's is about to kick what would be a game-winning field goal. Don't they have the big guy? Yeah.
They do. And
Here
you know,
comes 92 walking onto the field.
all the Florida boosters that want to fire Napier, they are so hoping that big dude hits that kick.
He ain't scared.
We know that.
Longhorns looking at a 1st and 10 at the 30. Hey, real quick, I haven't looked. What do we got on Baxter for rushing yards in this game? He's at a $103.
There it
First
is.
100-yard night for CJ Baxter, right?
I believe that is true. But in typical Sark fashion, it does not feel like it was intentional in any way. It just kind of happened.
Longhorns right now, 29 carries for 117 yards. They're averaging 4 yards a carry, but it's a little misleading because that does include 4 Quinn Ewers sacks.
Yeah, little administrative penalty there. False start on, I think it was Hudson on the offensive line. 1st and 15 for Texas.
Baxter trying to close this thing out.
Come on, CJ Baxter. Nice run on 1st down. That gives you all kinds of opportunities now. Little over 2 minutes to go. You're going to force Iowa State. That might actually be good in a way that he didn't get the 1st down, because you could make Iowa State think about a timeout here. You're a yard away from another 1st down, and now it's just as bad as it can be for Iowa State. Now Sark catch feels like he's in that Alabama mode. This feels like the end of the Alabama game.
CJ Baxter up to 117. Honestly, it is exactly the performance they needed from him coming out of tonight.
Yep.
Gets stuff there. He's actually going to lose. No, I guess it's going to be a no carry. The clock is under 2 minutes. Iowa State calls a timeout, their first timeout. Well, I guess this will be their second timeout.
Second time, yeah. And
it's the first of the 2 that they had left.
And in a stupid way, as long as they get the 1st down on this next play, then that loss of a yard is actually not that bad. You're still forcing them to call the timeout.
Big man makes it in Columbia, Missouri, beating Florida 33-31. Number 9, Missouri, wins its 9th game of the season. They're now 9-2.
Yeah, catch. I do not know where it's coming from, but Drinkwitz is winning. Somebody's going to hand him a trophy that says Coach of the Year. I don't know how many he gets. I don't know what it says exactly, but that dude's done a hell of a job, and that's a pretty good football team. I don't know who's playing them in a bowl game, but I'm not sure if I want to be that team. Missouri is good.
They're very good. People want to take shots at Missouri, but they are very good.
Yeah.
Longhorns don't get a conversion here on 3rd and 1, basically a no gain. Iowa State going to use their last timeout.
Yeah.
Texas now will be looking at a 4th down. You're going to bring Bert Auburn on the field, right?
I'd kick it.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about this, right? You're Bert Auburn. He's made 3. You bring him out.
Make it. I mean, you and I are old school football fans, but you make it 2 trips. It's already 2 trips. Now make it 2 trips where they have to have 2 touchdowns. It's real basic stuff. It's boring. It's old man stuff. I know it's not going to look fun on Instagram, but this is what you do. Send in the man with the hair and kick this field goal. He's not doing it, though. They're talking about a play catch.
Why
He's
not?
He's trying to close it like the Bama game.
Longhorns going to win this game, so I'm not going to say anything, right? Like, this will be one of those where it's like, you're stirring the pot, especially after the board was down for 19 minutes. I'm just trying to get through the night now. But
right, you got to trust the kicker.
The field goal's not dangerous here.
Right, it's such a not chippy, but like Bert Auburn can hit this field goal in his sleep. You're at the 20, aren't you?
I mean, a miss is no worse than an incomplete pass here.
Yeah, all right.
They're going to go for it. It's 4th and 1. They'll probably convert, and we'll just shut our mouth.
Hey, as long as this
4th down and they get the 1st down.
As long as it's a nice aggressive, you want even an aggressive play, just a straightforward run.
To Jaden Blue of all people.
How about that? Jaden Blue. When Sark needs it most, he goes blue.
By the way, the Longhorns going to cover in this game.
How about that? That's a cover. 7 and a hook. Take that, betting people. James with a super chat, 199. GB, Baxter, Sweat, Bert and Sark. There you go.
Not a good night for me on Prize Picks, though.
Mm.
I really needed, well, that Sanders injury.
Here you go, Longhorn fans. It is the best view in sports. It is victory formation. Let's give you the V right there.
It's a big moment for the Texas football program, guys. They're not in the Big 12 championship game yet, but this is now a 10-win team.
Yep.
With only Texas Tech in front of them from playing in Jerry World and having a chance to win the first Big 12 championship in half a generation.
Yeah.
And you're still in the playoff discussion. It's another night where really nothing happens on the national scene. It's almost disappointing from the sense of they've got a lot of time to fill, or they've got to talk about the college national scene. And it's exactly the same as it was today. Although, maybe you're flipping Washington with Florida State, depending on what you think about that quarterback situation. It is a big night for Washington, too, when you talk about the national scene. A real big boy grown-up win for all the teams in college football, including the Longhorns. But, Chad, as we wrap it up here on the Pinthouse watch-along, and we'll make sure that make sure we hit the super chats as they come in before we go. Do we think Yormark is crying in Ames tonight?
Oh, yeah.
He still has the championship game. So probably no tears yet, but we ain't far away from him. I would say that.
Yeah.
One last, before we get ready to go into the post-game show, Blake says, I live in Tennessee, have flights and hotels already booked. I was waiting for results of this game before I bought Big 12 championship game tickets. Should I wait or no? You're good. You're good. If you wait now, it's only going to cost more.
Yep.
Get in while you can.
Lean in, show some trust. Another super chat. Are we in the Big 12 championship game? Not yet. Not yet. Need to win next week or get certain help. We'll get all that stuff next week. And yes, Sark's first 10-win season as a head coach. Hook 'em. Thank you for saying it, James. I was going to say that. He had a 9-win season at USC, but that included a bowl. First time he's ever had 10 wins at all as a head coach. Congrats to Sark for that. All right, let's sweep the floors and lock the doors. Thanks to Blake, the super producer, for all his great work. Thank you to Specs for the chat. We had 400 folks consistently throughout tonight, and we appreciate you for that. Get the notifications, like, subscribe. 26-16 is your final. A nice, comfy 10-point victory. Never a doubt. Drink your Eagle Rare, and most importantly, get over to that Orange Bloods live postgame show with Ketch and Sukamel and Anwar Richardson, who is live on the scene, the lucky devil, in Ames, Iowa. Shout out to Pinthouse. There are your codes. You can check out the menu that way. You can check out the Jolly Rogers program. Remember, Longhorn games, $2 off pints when you wear your Longhorn gear at any Pinthouse location. And tomorrow, make your plan to get to a Pinthouse location for the NFL. $4 off pitchers during NFL action. Cowboys, Texans, both in the 12 o'clock window. It's an awesome noon window tomorrow in the NFL. And trust me, it'll be better if you make Pinthouse a part of it. Thanks to everybody for helping out tonight. Thank you for checking us out on the watch along. Texas gets a 10-point win. Speaking of 10, Texas has 10 wins.
We get a 10.
It's a 10. Billy Bob says it's a 10 so far. They're 10-1. The post-game show is on Orange Bloods Live. And if you had your notifications set, you'd already know that. Have a good night.